romance from Wallace and Gromit, where he's like having to put down train tracks as the train is moving.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about to do.
I believe in you.
Okay, so just let me know when we're rolling.
Oh, we've been rolling.
Oh yeah, and I am here today.
Let's
Okay.
go. We've
Yes.
been rolling. Shenanigans have already been ensued.
Well, that's very good, Jay. I would, however, note from looking at my screen here, Jay, that you're not in Roll20.
Oh, I just launched the game.
Oh.
I just launched the game as soon as you said that.
Well, you know what? Log in faster. Okay, so, anyways, however, while Jay is logging in, there you are. Here is just a quick synopsis of what happened last time around. So, last time we had just come back off of hiatus, so we spent a good amount of the early game just sort of explaining where the hell we were and how the hell we got here and generally what the plan is. Where we are is a town called Showberry, which is located greater in the country of Uxland. Uxland is an ally, a relatively close ally of the Empire, and Showberry is a mountain mining town that produces a shitload of copper, as well as like some lesser other metals, iron and stuff like that. They also forge steel. They do some basic refinement stuff, and then all these materials are shipped out to various places in Uxland. But a lot of them, like almost a majority, actually, are just bought straight by the Empire and then shipped back to the Empire for refinement and then making into other things, which includes automatons. And as a matter of fact, the sort of like the secret sauce of automatons is soul gems, and that is a thing which is also apparently, allegedly, something that is made or harvested or mined here. Like the actual like details of that part have not been established yet. As a matter of fact, outside of a tip that Callie got like a couple of months ago from a random dude in a kitchen, there's no evidence anywhere yet that fucking soul gems even are here. So that's cool. But you guys showed up in your big old blimp, and they rode out some knights to meet you guys, and they were generally, much like you were in Oakumsea, greeted with a like, hey, it's weird that you're here in a big flying boat thing, but we've seen weirder from the Empire, so whatever.
Just make sure your
promise that you're not
paperwork's
here, like, yeah, they wanted to make sure your paperwork was in order, and they took you to see the Jarl, and he asked you guys to, like, pretty please respect their laws and traditions, and everything should be cool. He, unlike the Jarl back in Oakumsea, did not have a like possibly stolen fiendish contract for you guys to sign your names on. He just asked you straight up, like, hey, pretty please follow the law. Which he was specific that they do have like a specific like place and time where they allow for the the selling and purchasing of weapons, and he did ask you also pretty please, because it's not really a law, but they might make it a law soon, don't sell guns to kids. Apparently a lot of the authority here have pages, which are usually like teenagers, that they send to do errands, which includes like, hey, go find a merchant over at the gun market and buy me a fucking cannon. Here's 40 gold. So that's apparently a thing that does happen here, but they have been trying to cut down on it, so they did ask you, pretty please don't sell to any children. But other than that, the party has learned of a couple of different locations, which are here on the map. You guys were first obviously taken to Aguirre Fortress, where you met the Jarl. He is a human man who's in his late middle age. He might be like 60 at the most. He's also apparently a wizard of reasonable power. And his name is Forney Tyrikson. So Jarl Forney is the guy who is in charge here. his main like night dude is a guy known as Commander Vine, and Commander Vine is partners, buddies, uncertain, with a Imperial knight who is named Edisk. And when you guys were originally escorted to the fortress and whatnot, Edisk had to like excuse himself because one of his, speaking of pages, a page of his came up and alerted him that a Pathfinder was there to talk to him in his office. So he was like, I'll catch you guys later. If you got any, questions or anything, blah, blah, blah. And then he went to go talk off to whoever this Pathfinder is. Jarl Forney and Commander Vine answered some questions about everything and directed y'all to a couple of things. Noteworthy, near the fortress, there is the Dawn Castle of Serene. Serene is, again, like a goddess of, like, good stuff and, like, taking task to evil. You can think paladin god, kind of like deal. Also, she likes fire. And she really likes setting the undead on fire. That's a
fireball.
Yeah, that is a holy thing to do in the eyes of Serena. But funny enough, in the shadow of the Dawn Castle, there was a low, much older building that was called the Halls of Rest, which had a holy symbol on it, which you guys made some checks for and determined that it was a holy symbol to the god Orcus. Orcus is, rather famously, a, like, archdemon, and who is, like, an archdemon of undeath and stuff like that. Because the undead, physical, spiritless, like, mindless undead, are revered here as protectors and guardians. Like, these people participate in ancestral worship. It is a thing that their culture does. They really don't like spirits, though. They're super hardcore, like, not happy about spirits and ghosts and things like that. And as you guys got to the Hall of Rest, the priestess there was currently in the middle of finishing up, like, a ceremony where apparently a guy who had died recently was being raised up as a Draugr, and the raised Draugr was presented with, one of their, like, former family members, and they made the Draugr made no reaction to them and their name being called and the family member being there, which was actually a good thing. That was a sign of relief, because the spirit of that dead guy had gone on. He had passed on. This was just now a flesh robot, essentially. Who will still be honored and can be visited by family. That is a thing that they can do. They can show up whenever they want to say hi to their, their dead relative who isn't there, but their body is still there. So that was that. The priestess, who was a very tall woman who was named Olgi, she had a weird look about her, but she was like very actually. Guys sold furniture because the Halls of Rest have a moisture problem, and like it's cold and musty and damp down there all the damn time, so like furniture does not last very well. So she was like, hey, can you make me some like well-made solid furniture stuff. She did specifically request nothing that had no more metal than nails. Like she had a whole like no metal please kind of like thing. Also, because she was super tall, she was like, also, could you make like a bed that's kind of like extra long? That would be cool. And she would pay for all of that. So she placed an order for all of that sort of stuff. And after you guys left the Halls of Rest, you went over to Old Deadeye's Range, where there were a bunch of farmers who were very interested in picking up some alchemical goods. Specifically, what they need is a solvent that can dissolve tar and sap, because they've got tar and sap in their mill works that are causing their mills to be less efficient. And if you know anything about how mills work, they can't wait until summer when the temperatures are high enough for this shit to get soft. Because during the winter it's sticky and hard as a stone, unless you apply heat to it. but they can't apply heat to it because it's a mill, and mills explode.
Yeah.
So they can't just apply fire. That's why they needed an alchemical solution to that. So again, Callie did some deals. The old Deadeye's Range is is both a shrine to the god Eristil, who's old Deadeye. He's like a hunting and community, type god. But it's also basically just like a magical fantasy, like Cracker Barrel, where it's like part restaurant and part like country store, sort of thing. And they placed a whole bunch of orders for some alchemical goods. It was just a bunch of sundry, plain, normal farming supplies.
Goods.
So yeah, but otherwise, you guys asked around and found out that the copper depths there, that's the main mine, that is the big claim to fame. That's the whole reason why this town fucking exists in the first place, is the copper depths. It is the main employer of almost everybody in town, but there are a couple of other mines worth noting. Specifically, there is one that is called the Magefall Mines, which is over in the Light Road area. That mine deals not in copper, but deals in other minerals, mostly which are useful in like spell casting and rituals and stuff. So they handle that. And then there is the iron, which is relatively new, that's being pulled out of the ground. And that one's actually run in a mine that is completely owned by the Empire and is being otherwise like taken over and undone by the Avalon mining company. It's drilling site number 4 down there in Old Gate. You'll also see that the underbar is marked on the map. That was a place that the guard in Oakham told you about, where he got like the best booze. The fairgrounds is where they have the like open market thing, and you guys are currently right there next to the open market fairgrounds, where you guys stopped at an inn. I don't know if I said this last session, but the inn that you guys are at is called the Gooseberry Fool, and that's where everybody got rooms at, so that you could stake out. So that you could stake out a spot on the fairgrounds for your stall, because apparently it's first come first serve, and they get pretty cutthroat about it.
Yeah, and we're gonna have Tim do it, because Tim only needs 2 hours of sleep, bro. He's gonna get in there first.
Yeah, Tim needs less sleep, and being a automaton, he's slightly less uncomfortable out in the cold than you guys are. So yeah, he's going to just stake that out. Some other stuff of note is you guys were also told that there is a jousting field out in Wolfrise, which is called Playhard Field. I
remember adding training equipment to the list of things that we added in case somebody from there comes along. I don't know if we're going to go over there this episode.
Yeah, that was mentioned. It's way over there, but that's where if you want to do business with a lot of Imperials, that's where you go. That's a very heavily Imperial controlled area over there. And I say controlled, but it's not really legally controlled. It's just a lot of Imperials live and do business over in that section of town, and it is no secret whatsoever that the vast majority of the Imperials that are here are military and military related. So is it controlled? Legally, no. Literally, yes. But apparently that's with... Yeah, but apparently that is done... But it is apparently done with consent, though. That is something that that Uxland and Showbury are like, handshaking with. So it's not a problem. They're not really an occupying force, but they totally could be if they wanted to be, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So I am going to.
Don't forget about Torque.
Yes, actually, that is a good thing to bring up, because I'm going to bring up Torque here on the map to just represent where the fuck the party is. Actually, you know what? Let me crank you down with torque. There we go. Okay.
Actually,
right.
GM, I have a question.
Yes.
Because I wasn't technically here, but I was technically here. But I wasn't. You know.
Yeah.
Do I need to make a will save since I'm here? Because I'm now playing Jamal.
Yes, you will need to make a will save. DC 24.
Okay.
Hey.
Good to go.
Damn.
Good to go.
The dog does not care.
The dog does not care. Okay, so
so he did get affected. Nice, he did.
Yep. That does bring up a good point, because Torque, in the way that Torque usually does these things, absolutely beefed her saving throw, which everybody had to make the moment you walked into town. Thankfully, Laria also critically passed her saving throw, and by critically passing, she was actually aware of the effect, and she told the rest of the party that there was some sort of effect that is widespread all over the entire city, that is indiscriminate in what it targets. So as soon as you guys enter in, assumedly every other person who enters town is also targeted by this effect. Unfortunately, Torque was the only one who failed, and Torque failed critically, which means that Torque gets the effect, and it's permanent until otherwise removed. She's basically cursed.
Anything?
And it's like the whole it's like the whole city, right? Or like the circle right here.
Yeah, it's the whole city.
Or inner part, yeah.
It's the whole city. It at least.
I thought it was just in the walls.
Well, it is. It does actually leak out a little bit, not much, but it does leak out a little bit past the walls. But there's an effect that the most of the core of the city, as it would be.
I was saying, would you all notice anything?
No, because the DC is DC's 24, which means he'd have to make a 34 to notice it.
I see.
And Torque made a 14, which is critically failing. So,
meaning Jamal almost would have smelt it, but then just passed it off.
Yeah. So Jamal doesn't notice anything, but Jamal does know the effect is there because he was with everybody when this was explained by Laria, which was then later confirmed. Torque, as it turned out, while you guys were walking along, she was basically pickpocketing at apparent random. While you guys were at the old Deadeye's range, she was literally stealing silverware, used silverware, off of the table. But she also, when you guys visited the fortress, when you guys were at Oglyre, talking to the Jarl, Jarl Forney had taken off his signet ring and had it set on the little table next to his throne where he was eating dinner, which was explained to you guys when you walked in, that he was just eating as you guys came in, and then he stood up, and you guys had some back and forth conversation while you're all just standing there, and while no one was paying attention, Torque just pocketed a couple of things off the table, which included his signet ring. So that is a thing that the party's going to have to fucking figure out what to do with about that. Torque, when confronted about this, she didn't have... One, she didn't think anything was wrong, which is part of the effect. She doesn't notice anything is wrong with her behavior. However, she does trust you guys, so she's willing to take your word for it that something is up. She was pickpocketing at random. She didn't technically mean to steal the Jarl's signet ring, but that's kind of a big deal. The signet ring may or may not also be magical. No one has bothered to check that part yet. So
in the workshop or something, hide it anywhere.
Yeah, just throw it, just hand it through the workshop portal and be like, hey, go put this in the lead box.
Go put this in the lead box.
So, which, by the way, lead does actually shield magic stuff.
Oh, really?
Just FYI, that is
probably
that is actually a literal thing. But either way, Torque
figure out it was
didn't have any problem with giving that stuff back to you guys, and she said that she would try to not do that again.
Did we figure out if it was a curse or not?
It is a curse. It technically only is actually a curse if you fail the save. It's otherwise just a constant effect. And now that you know that it's there, and you know kind of sort of what to look for, it was relatively easy for the party to notice that just the other, regular townsfolk around them, many of them were also very clearly operating under the effects of this, of the curse, for lack of a better term. So,
it's a constant thing. It's not something that can be cured, right?
It can be cured, as it is a curse. There is called Remove Affliction. If cast at 4th level, if you cast the heightened 4th level version of it, it will remove curses.
I do have a Divine Scroll Remove Curse that I forgot
Yep.
we had.
Yeah, you do have one, but it is otherwise a constant effect, which means if you remove it and Torque is then subjected to it again and she fails again, she has it again.
That's what I'm thinking.
It does not make you immune to it. It just removes the permanent effect. Otherwise, even if you fail the save, but you don't critically fail the save, the effect ends if you just simply leave the geographical region that it covers.
Unless it's permanent.
Yeah, unless it's permanent, like it is on Torque, because she fucking critically failed that save.
We might need to use the Scroll Remove Curse, but on her outside of the city.
I mean, if you want to be absolutely certain that she does not get recursed, yeah, you would want to do it with her outside of the city, with her not going back into the city. But while you're here, it's going to be going on. Just so that you guys are aware, mechanically speaking, the effect. Let me bring this up here. What the effect is essentially doing to Torque, what you've noticed is going on, is that she does seem a little jumpy. Like she's quick to react to stuff, like she's easily spooked for some reason. And obviously, of course, she felt compelled to pickpocket little items, and according to Torque, she said that the reason that she was her reasoning for why she was doing it at the time that she was doing it was the idea of we might need these little items for some reason later. I should grab these for the party
schizophrenia.
to be prepared. So that's what she was doing. This might be a secret tool to help us later. June.
Oh, yes?
I need you to roll a fort save.
Me?
Yes, I need you to roll a fort save.
Okay.
Oh no.
A fortnight save.
Alright.
It is a fork. It's a fork knife save.
Fortitude save. I'm pretty sure it's the one I have with the thing. That's a 2.
God.
Yeah. Can I go ahead
You might want to
reroll that?
Different person.
Yeah, go ahead.
Purchasing a pack.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Good.
those reflexes only have the thing. Alright, so yeah, using the hero point I got for today's session, gonna reroll that fortitude save to not be a 2.
Okay. That's better. A 7 is better.
It's fine.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Duly noted. So,
Huh?
in the morning. In the morning.
Good morning.
Is that
Yeah,
that we talked about? I forgot about that.
Well, in the morning, June is looking a little rough. Like she didn't exactly sleep very well. Torque was very tossy-turny, like all night long. She also got up early, like ass crack of dawn kind of like thing. Got up early, hogged at the bathroom for like a long ass time, and then like as soon as like June is like dragging herself out of bed, like getting started on her morning preparations and whatnot, like Torque takes off from the room and then like comes back with like hot fresh muffins, and is just plopping those down. Nobody needs to make any checks for any of this, but like basically when the party is like coming together in like the commons room in the morning, Torque has got muffins for everybody.
June looks like she needs a coffee.
Yeah, but June looks like she needs a coffee. Torque is glowing. Not literally, but she's just
okay. All right, I thought like literal glowing. I was like,
she's radioactive.
Yeah, she's not literally.
Oh my god.
She's not literally glowing.
Callie will look at you.
She's
like, do you need coffee or something?
June just kind of like pinches the brow of her nose and just says, yes, I could use some coffee.
Alright, Callie will make June some coffee. Just the normal coffee or like the blood eye coffee, right? Like,
you know what? Let's get the blood eye coffee. Let's go.
Make another fort save.
Fucking ball.
Hold on. Let me bring up the port save on that. Blood eye coffee.
Oh god.
All right, blood eye coffee. The fortitude save is a DC 14. You can't critically fail this or anything. So yeah. All right. So blood eye coffee, just so that you know, 10 minutes after you drink it, and this does last all day long, you get a +1 item bonus to AC and saves, to which you are taking penalties caused by the fatigued condition.
Oh dang, nice.
I am going to take one as well. I can't fail it either. I can't fail it.
I'm glad you can't fail it.
Oh, hubris.
Oh, hubris. Oh, hubris.
Save his last word.
Don't worry.
How humorous.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me?
That news report. What are you gonna do? Stab me? Man's final words.
Callie will, I think, because like I don't think Callie saw all that stuff with the Torque. She's gonna look at Torque and be like, "You were beaming today."
Yeah, I feel great, actually. I slept like a baby last night. How'd you sleep?
Like a fish. Upside down and in water. That's what Callie says.
Do fish sleep that way? Is that how fish sleep? You know, as I'm suddenly thinking about it, I don't think I've ever actually sleep.
Yeah, it's just an after kitty thing. And then she like nudges her brother, like, right, bro? Just an after kitty thing.
he very tiredly pulls his face out of his like muffin that Torque brought earlier. It's just like, yeah. And like flop, head back down into a whole grain muffin.
Bro, you need some coffee too. Everyone seems to need coffee.
Everybody else got sleep enough, so you don't have to worry fatigue or anything like that. But yeah, Torque is otherwise. She's in full force today. She has her she has makeup done and everything like that, which she doesn't normally do. But she has got all of that stuff going on. She's got her hair down and all of that sort of jazz. She is in just very, like, flashy form rather than she was the other day. So, what is going on, Jay? What are you quietly spazzing about the back?
He is.
Well, y'all can hear. I'm so sorry. I thought y'all cannot hear me.
It's called the mute button, Jay.
Or push the dog.
The man's popping off, but I don't know what he's popping off about.
Well,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry.
No,
it's
it's
the rest of the
fine.
party is if no one has anything they want to tell me, our metal man should be still in the fairgrounds with our stall set up, because I had to do that all night. Well, I didn't have it. He volunteered, obviously. So hopefully he got us a good spot. I swear, if he got us near some like dumpster or something, I'm gonna remove his head.
Well, as you say that, the main door opens up and in come a couple of people, which includes Tim. And Tim comes over to report that he has, in fact, secured a nice, sizable table in a good spot. And he's already said, like, his highs and hellos to the merchants who are setting up on either side of the table that he has reserved. So, as soon as you're ready, otherwise, to come on down, then you can get started.
Yeah, Kylie's gonna head down with. She's gonna hop in Mr. Servos, and head down.
Beebity. All right. Well then, Callie, when you head down there, the market's not open yet, really, but there are several people who are already gathered down there. People who are selling hot food and things like that to the merchants who are prepping their stuff for the like actual public, which is mostly locals, that have various things to sell. Nothing is wildly eyebrow raising except for the table that is to your left. The table that is to your left is manned by a gentleman who is in a waistcoat that has like a walking cane and a top hat that have attached goggles to them, and all that sort of stuff. And he is also, the moment he turns around, very clearly a cavern elf.
Cavern elf.
He is a cavern elf, and helping him set up goods on his table, there is another cavern elf, female this time. She is got like the super like hardcore like cinched waist, like Callie could put her hands around the waist and touch her fingers kind of like thing. Corset going on. With the huge bustle dress, like that just orbs out, around her and all that sort of stuff. She also has a top hat with goggles, and all of that jazz. And the thing that is very most notable on their table is, this is mostly like little knickknacks and stuff that's very clearly elven make, very clearly cavern elven make. But the like high-end item that they've got on there is to have an automatic coffee maker, like a steam-powered coffee espresso machine.
Oh, that's cool. Callie introduces herself in Elvish. Hopefully they speak that, and this isn't just
they
her.
do. They do very much speak Elven.
Yeah, she introduces herself in Elven and just says, "Hello, I am the merchant set up next to you," she says. In this stall, she points.
Oh, you must be the famous Miss Califino. I have heard of you. Although I thought you were a bit taller.
Yeah.
How are you doing, ma'am? How is this cold environment treating you?
Pretty bad, but fish people and cold don't really go well together.
I bet. Down in Vault Jarl Grey, this cold, it doesn't seep down that far. It gets quite warm. Sorry, my manners. My name is Yob, and this is my wife, Sob. We are we are merchants, as clearly you can see here. We sell tools, knickknacks, things that we craft down in the vault, and bring them up here once a month.
They said vault, like doesn't vault chamomile?
Oh, no, not Vault Chamomile. We are from Vault Jarl Grey.
Oh, Callie kind of like asks do they all start with like vault, down in the caverns? It seems that's a tradition or something.
If it is quote unquote a city, they call it a vault.
I see. All right.
And according to the which you would have picked this up when you were learning Elven and reading the Darklands books. The elves very clearly only count it as a vault, as a city, if it has a population of over 2,000. If it's under 2,000, they don't call it a vault.
Yeah, I was about to say, Callie probably would know all this, considering she's got high dark lores.
Yeah. So since you... Yeah, so you already know that. So if they're calling Jarl Grey a vault, then it means it's got at least 2,000 individuals.
Yes.
2,000 adults. That's the other thing too. They don't count children in that population count. They only count adults.
I see.
So at least 2,000 adults in an underground cavern somewhere that they call Jarl Grey.
Callie says, "Oh, that's very interesting. I do very much admire all of the inventions created by people that live in the High Dark. I've been trying to set up trade, with a vault chamomile. In fact, with the city where my workshop is located, Casimir." She says.
Yes, we had heard of it actually. We have communication. Vault chamomile. They told us about the surface people who had come down. And had some interesting things to sell and trade, and how there was an old temple outside of the vault proper that had been lost. They were dealing with some serpent folk, I believe it was, and they mentioned that there was a young inventor, Azerketi, named Califino in that group, which is notable. You don't hear a lot of Azerketi, deep down in the vaults. So it was kind of notable for that information to go around. And they mentioned how you had a large mechanical companion, which at first, that's who I thought was reserving your table, but now I see, and he kind of like gestures, sure about it. But now I see, actually, they were talking about this is very remarkable. I would love to, speak to you at some point when we are not, the greasing of palms and gathering of coin, to maybe go over some basic notes of it. I would be very interested in it. I don't have any sort of constructs nearly as complex as that.
Yeah, I would like that very much too, Callie says. And then she kind of like puts her palm to her face and says, "Would you believe me if I told you the one that they saw in Vault Cameo was actually a bit bigger than the one I have right now?" I had to think of a bit smaller. He was, he didn't like being down there, to say the least.
I could imagine. Although, when we were originally hearing the way you were described implied that you were much taller than you are, actually. So, I kind of was thinking that maybe they just overestimated the size of your companion, but if you also had to shrink it, that makes sense. Sometimes it can get pretty tight when you are traveling through the cavern roads. If you ever get the chance to come on down to Vault Yarrow Grey, look me up. I would be more than happy to put you up and show you around my workshop. I'm sure it's probably not as impressive as yours, but I've got better than a baseline, You know what? We're not talking about some sort of like smithy with a couple of extra measuring implements or anything like that. I've got a pretty good setup.
I would like that. I always like to see. Kai says is like, I always like to see what other inventors we're working with.
Well, we've been doing this trade here with Shawberry for several decades now. Ever since their copper mine broke through into one of the cavern roads, we've had interaction with them, and we've been doing a pretty brisk trade from our perspective. Given that these are mostly humans here, it's probably not exactly brisk on their timeline. But the last 2.5 so decades, though, the trade that we have been doing with them has also been supplemented by the trade that they are doing with the Empire. And there's quite a lot of Imperial goods that I find very intriguing. I would love to get my hands on if I could at some point, but I don't know about you, but I've had a bit of trouble trying to get Imperial goods out of their grubby Imperial hands, especially at and I mean no offense to you, of course, but I find that most Imperial, mainline humans, they tend to be and he makes like a motion with his hands, like he's rubbing his thumb and his first two fingers together, and he's like, they tend to be and he makes like pinching motion.
Oh no, I get what you mean. Callie then mentions like, I could potentially help you get your hands on those goods if you want.
Oh, I would be quite interested in that. Now, Miss Fino, I do try to maintain a healthy trade relationship with the town here. So, if I can avoid it, I try not to do any, sort of backdoor deals with questionably acquired goods.
Oh yeah. No, I wasn't asking you to break the law or anything like that.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that everything was above board.
But yeah, I could help in the acquiring of such goods if you need it.
That would be very fine. I would like that. And he kind of like pauses and looks over towards where like the public is like starting to gather up. And he says, it will not be long now before they open the proverbial gates and let everybody in here to start picking at things and quibbling back and forth. So I hope you are prepared for a couple of hours of hard haggling.
Yeah, I made a few deals here and there with some town folk. They're probably gonna show up in mass. So there's gonna be a bit of haggling.
All right. Well, I look forward to afterwards having a conversation with you, talking about a companion here. Maybe also do some trade deals of our own. But I wish you good luck today in your haggling.
I wish you good luck as well, Callie says while bowing.
And he gives you a little, flourish and his ridiculous steampunk top hat at you, and he turns back to his wife, and they finish their setup. The other merchants around you also finish up their setup. Rusi and Tim are the two other like primary characters that are helping Callie get her table and everything set up. So
Yes.
Callie and Tim, who is not here, and Rusi, the NPC, are specifically dealing with that. What is the rest of the party going to be doing? Because Callie's going to be basically down at the market for, like, essentially it's 7 a.m. She's going to be there till at least 10 a.m. So in that little time period, what does everybody else want to do?
I probably would ask at least Seamus maybe if he could maybe go to the mining offices that they mentioned last session, and maybe go go there on the like obviously the standpoint of, hey we want to talk about maybe buying some minerals, but obviously investigate potentially.
That sounds like a plan.
Because that was where you said last session that the quote-unquote epicenter of the magical effect was, right?
It is emanating from underground. That was the other thing that was determined. It is emanating from underground.
The offices for the mines though are above ground though, right?
Yes, the actual offices for each one of the mines is actually on the surface above the actual mine working area. It was also stated, as far as the copper depths are concerned, that there are branch mines that effectively spread out all over the city. So that's mentioned. However big the other mines might be in relation to that, unknown yet. You would have to go talk to them.
Let's talk early performance for.
Hey Fuzzy, what's that roll for?
Torque is she is being very clear with you guys by like having her hands in her front pocket, like warmer thing on her poncho and whatnot, and she's just kind of like rocking back and forth on her heels, waiting for you guys to say what you're doing.
Honestly, now that I think about it, it might be a bad idea to bring her in the mine offices. She might go steal some like clipboard with important information on it or something. It might actually no, that would probably be a good idea. Actually, now that I think about it.
Wow, you're gonna use it against
As bait.
No, I'm not saying not as bait. I'm saying her stealing the information would be good for us because then we get to know more about what's going on. No, I wasn't planning on using Torque for bait. What are you talking about, Jay? What the hell are you talking
about? Right now, although to Jay specifically, like Jamal would very easily be able to see this. Like when the party is all standing together and Torque is right there, if anybody else was just looking at the party, as soon as they get they would focus on Torque. Torque is literally a beacon of she is a beautiful woman who is standing there beautifully, surrounded by other people that she just stands above, by pure charisma. And she's also done up her makeup. Her hair is loose and all flowing down. She's really dressed to the nines.
Quite the pickle predicament.
Just scratching my that meme of the dude scratching his chin with his toe.
All I know is that June is gonna I would say keep an eye on Torque, but
watch over. Would probably be the
yeah,
word.
just make sure she doesn't get into
Babysit.
trouble.
Yep.
I mean, if she gets into trouble, it's not her fault.
I mean, it's still slightly her fault,
Uh,
but it's still slightly her. But yeah. And plus, I mean, you guys do also know, just practically, that Torque is literally like a distraction machine. So,
I mean,
you know,
it's a good idea if somebody need to get their hands on some documents in one of the mine offices or something.
so I guess the question is, while Callie's otherwise busy and has asked Seamus to swing by the mining offices and like get some information from them, what mining office does Seamus want to go to? And what information would Seamus like to acquire there?
Guess while that's happening, like Larry is with like Callie at the marketplace.
Yeah, you could use.
Oh yeah, because Larry's good at
Yeah, commerce. Please, sir, purchase this pitchfork. It's pretty good.
Please, Mister.
She's just standing there being a cute mascot and like talking people into purchases of things that they don't need.
Selling water to a dam.
Like everybody's literally surrounded, 1.5 feet worth of snow on the ground, and she's selling ice cubes.
Yeah, showing them the things that they already have access to.
An ice cube tray or something.
I think
Showing
Seamus
them
would...
an ice cube tray.
I think Seamus would go to. I think the Copper Depths is one of them, right?
Yes, that is the primary one in town. Yeah.
I think he's gonna start from. He's gonna probably start from the center and work his way out, just to see if there's any conflicting information or something like that.
Okay, so let me move Party Token Torque over here to the Copper Depths. All right, so the Copper Depths. As you approach early in the morning, there is line after line after line of like suited up workers who are showing up, clocking in, and walking into like the primary like building, which is itself essentially looks like a huge warehouse type deal. But they do have like a public office, essentially, that is just off to the side of that. But you see, guys who are dressed in like mostly like leather and cloth, protective work gear, who have, picks, pickaxes, shovels, all of the stuff that you would expect miners. But there are also, mixed in with the batch, there are some clockworks. They're not exactly the same make and model, but there's very similarly some of those walkers that are kind of like an extremely primitive construction version of Mr. Servos, that they have with them. And there's a couple of very clear Imperial people who are mixed in, but they also have like insignias on them that just really scream, I am a mechanical technician kind of like thing. And there's at least one of them, every single one of the clockwork machines that are, trundling around amongst the regular, like, on foot civilians.
Can I do a perception check to see if any of the miners look, I don't know, a little out of place or something's off about them?
Sure, go for it. All right, with a 23, you don't really notice anybody who seems obviously out of place or anything like that, but you do see a group of 5 guys who are walking towards the mines who have much, much heavier protective gear on than anybody else. Like, they are fully suited out. Like, imagine medieval hazmat.
Ooh.
And they are carrying work boxes that are filled with a bunch of bottles, as well as several metal canisters. And they're heading towards one of the like mine shafts, like as a group. They're heading towards one of the mine shaft doors, and as they come to one of the doors, you see them turn in a direction that separates them from the main group, and they head over to another door, and this door has a red marker next to the like shaft name, and these are like the shaft names are like, you know, shaft west number 2, north 7, you know, that sort of stuff. But this one has a red stamp next to the name, and nobody is going in or out of that one. And when they get there, the guy who's in the lead reaches into his toolbox, pulls out a big fucking iron, like comically sized key to shove it into the door lock, crank that thing open, opens it up, waits for everybody else to come in, pulls the door closed, and you can, even over the noise of the location, hear the audible clack clack of it being locked behind him after they all walk in.
Well, I know. Well, that's going to be a nice little mental note and to break into later.
I don't know if it's
Oh, boy.
too obvious. Just to metagame a little here. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just like I said. It feels a bit like a red herring. But,
Hey,
maybe
you know,
maybe
you
it's
could-
so obvious that it's like that's the point. Like they think like, oh, nobody's gonna break it. You know, there's already like, you know, it's already strange enough. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's. Would they be playing that kind of mental 4D chess?
No, that's like the equivalent of you having the hole in the wall of your house just visible to the people and be like, there's no shit in there that no one won't steal it.
Well, sometimes the most obvious thing is like quite literally the best hiding spot because you'd never think. You know what I mean? Like sometimes just in plain sight is the best. That's why I'm like.
It's so stupid. It's brilliant. No, it's just stupid. Yeah, there's very clearly a door which has a red mark on it that a bunch of very differently, heavily protective dressed guys with chemicals walked into that's different from all the other mines. None of the other miners are going anywhere near that door. Also, it should be pointed out that none of the other miners acted like this was weird.
Okay, so it'd probably be like common knowledge. It's just like, I don't have like access to that kind of information. So, well, I mean, I don't know yet, but it could be
But,
just
yeah.
something. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it could be they could be a normal, you know, special team or something like that. That would be something to ask when you're in the actual offices, which you are approaching. So, when you get to the actual office, it's roughly like, imagine like, you know, like when you go to like you know, whatever place handles your utilities, you know, and you go in there and they've got like a couple of people up front who are handling, you know, requests and public services and all that sort of stuff, and then behind them you've got like people working at desks and doing various stuff. That's basically what you walk into. Is you've got like 3 folks up front who are very clearly there to be like facing, and then you've got like actual like administration workers behind them that are like handling you know, all of the administrative stuff. They're all human. One of these humans is a relatively young guy. It's probably 20, 21 at most, who is also very clearly Uxlin. But when you guys come in, like he looks up at you, you know, like quick scans like the whole group of you, and just like the whole like, what just walked into the office, you know, kind of like thing. He like quick scans everybody. He's got that look of like, oh snap, and then you know, and then his eyes like linger on Torque longer than anybody else, and you see him like kind of like adjust his tie, and he's like, and then he hits you professional like, hello sir, how can I help you?
Oh, good morning.
Was the voice crack included as well?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Gosh.
Welcome to the Copper Deaths Administration Office. How may I help you?
Hi, as you can tell, we're obviously from out of town, and I've heard you've got quite a mining operation you got going on here. You mind telling me what you've got both in stock and what kind of materials that you mine around here?
Certainly, sir. I can give you basic information on the sort of materials that we process here at the mine. Are you looking to make a purchase of raw materials? We already have a rather expansive contract deal with Imperial purchasers.
I'd rather get it straight from the source.
Well, I would be glad to help you accomplish that.
You could cut out the middle
well,
yeah.
Well, sir, to give you the basics, as you might probably expect from the name, the Copper Depths, we mostly do copper. However, we also have secondary mineral deposits, which we sometimes collect from the depleted mine shafts, and we also do bring up a small amount of iron and a few precious gems every now and again, which I wouldn't know specifically, but I've been told are quite useful for various occult and arcane purposes.
I get the feeling he said something he wasn't supposed to.
Well, the other older
mean,
like secretaries that are like flanking him, who aren't helping anybody, by the way. They're all just kind of like leaning over to the side, watching him like sweat bullets as he talks to you weirdos. But they're just kind of like leaning back, like, let's see how far he goes before he like shoots himself in the foot. But he opens up a drawer in his desk, and he like goes through some papers, and he pulls out a parchment sheet, and we're talking about something that's like roughly the size of a postcard, really. But he pulls out a parchment sheet, and he passes that over to you, and written on it in common is essentially like a manifest of the materials that they pull out of the mine, as well as like what they like the amounts that they pull out over time. So like if you wanted to order like 1 ton worth of granite or something like that, like they've got a thing of like, yeah, we pull out granite and this is how much we pull out over time. So if you need a ton of it, this is how long it'll take. That kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
So he passes that to you. He says that that's up to date, I believe. Although, if you check back in with us at some other time, we may have slight differences. We do exploratory digs practically all the time, and occasionally we do come across some unusual stuff down there. Heck, a couple of decades ago, we opened up a cave, and we weren't expecting to find it, but we found elves.
The ball. Yeah.
This character, I like this character. He's goofy.
But obviously, of course, sir, the elves aren't for sale. They do their own trading. Not sure why I brought that up. I thought it would be a funny joke. Is there anything specific you're looking for, sir?
You kind of piqued my interest when you said exploratory digs. Like, has there been anything like strange or weird that you found on those digs?
Well, I don't have an explicit manifest of those things, but
just something you heard around the grapevine, just something you heard around the grapevine.
Well, and now you can see him kind of like he is getting a little nervous, and like he looks at
We're just grilling this
it's all you.
poor desk clerk.
I'm just being just casual about it. I'm
You're
just
not
talking.
even, he's not even,
Oh, yeah,
he's not even grilling him. He's just asking like a
Oh yeah, no,
like a
he's
normal
grilling himself.
question.
Yeah, he's doing this to
Yeah.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he's self-grilling. But yeah,
Seamus
he looks-
puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Breathe, kiddo. It's okay."
actually, Seamus,
Just 3 hands.
roll an Arcana check.
Mm.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
Okay, this guy, he's suffering from the same effect that Torque is.
Oh.
Oh. Well, that's not surprising, I guess.
And his temperature is a little elevated. He is a little sweaty and clammy. And you know, when you reach over and touch him with your like wood vine hand, he's just like, you know, like he's a little like more surprised than usual, even though he's like orb, you know, under your hood and everything. The vine hand is also like he wasn't expecting that.
Relax, kid.
he-
relax.
You just look at him and it's like, man, why are you so sweaty? What the heck, bro? It's supposed to be hot or
He,
something.
like,
Even though
he
it's
takes a-
freezing
he-
outside.
He takes a deep breath and he says, well, you know, I don't mean to say anything bad about the miners. You know, they're they're the ones who make my job happen. But like they are a little prone to exaggeration and, you know, just talking while on the job, and I may have heard one of them say that they that one of the digs they opened up a cave, and there was one of those draugrs from the house of from the halls of rest down there. No idea how I got there, but it was pretty old and a little beat up, and apparently a couple of the guys managed to like coax it out of the cave, and they offered it a sandwich and got it onto the lift, and then they walked it back over to the hall of rest and gave it to the you know the priest lady there, and she took care of it. That was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Quick question, Fuzzy. Like, I don't know if it be like recall knowledge
Mhm.
or history, whatever. Like, what was the name of the miner that we walked in on them? Like, kind of like not doing the rites of, but like the whole shebang that they were doing. Do you remember?
I'm failing my recall knowledge check on that.
Okay, but let's
I don't
just
think-
let's
I don't
just
think
like
we were-
say like
Let's say his name is Ralph.
Ralph, or just the miner, just like can June
Yeah.
recall like that
Minor 49.
over, like, because we were basically like overhearing that thing, you know. Would it be like
Mhm.
perception? Would it be like a, I don't know what the thing.
What specifically are you trying to put together?
Like if that was the same like zombie or
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, let's go with the perception.
Okay.
Let's do perception for that. I'll set DC at higher than that. So you don't know if it was the same guy.
Well, I guess that ties that in a bow. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
you don't know.
there's just like, wait, what was that name? Oh, she's like, I lost it. Just like I thought I had an
It's on
idea.
tip of my tongue.
But yeah.
But yeah, they apparently walked it back over there to the hall of rest and handed it over to the priest. And I wasn't here that day, so I didn't see it. But my supervisor, he's got a rock on his desk that apparently, and this was many years ago, but like apparently some miners opening up a new seam, and when they were clearing out the rocks, they found a rock that had a face on it, or well, it looked like it had a face on it, and he just kind of keeps it like as a keepsake. So, I mean, if you mean things like that, yeah, that pops up every now and again. Is that the kind of stuff you mean?
Yeah, I would say like yeah, weird stuff like that. I'm kind of like a collector of that kind of stuff.
With a face on it.
Cool. Are you like forgive me for asking, but are you like a wizard or something?
A magus, but close enough.
Okay. You know, if you're looking for wizardy stuff, if that's the thing that maguses do, might I suggest you go down to Magefall Mines? They might have better selection than this stuff. I mean, we mostly just sell to the Forge to do, processing for the Empire and things like that. And I guess occasional Draugr return.
Occasional Draugr return.
I'm sorry. Just
this character Fuzzy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He tries.
He's trying his best.
He is such a good boy. I am actually going to open up the random names generator and give him.
Oh Lord! Oh.
Okay, random names generator.
He's gonna have a little name that says "Hi, my name is."
Anyways, he also just babbles off. Yeah, he also just babbles off a couple of knickknacks. Things that are interesting but not weird and special in a gets your adventurer senses tingling or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he rattles that sort of stuff off. He also, lets you know what the current going rate is for, the stuff that they do trade in. And let's see here. Pathfinder human. Let's see, Pathfinder human. Yeah. Well, the sheet that he gave you with all stuff that they do pull out of the mine and how long it takes. He does give you that. That
it's
is yours.
for a furniture business, Callie.
It's for the furniture, yeah. We need to make stone chairs and stone beds.
Okay, this guy's name is... Let's see here. I'm going to call you... Ipsos.
Ipsos?
Ipsos. IPSOS.
I'm sorry.
Oh, IPSOS. Okay, Ipsos.
Ipsos. His name is Ipsos, and he is, and as his battling continues on, he gets to that whole thing where he's just he has to identify and identify who he is and how long he's been working here and all that sort of you're fucking interviewing him. And he is spreading bullets through this entire process. Which, the other guys, they don't jump in to save him at any point.
I mean, if we drill him enough, he might just spill something important,
Yeah, he might. So yeah.
Well, that's why I'm kind of talking to him calmly, and I'm just I'm actually
he's acting yeah.
And I'm assuming he already told us his name when he introduced himself. We're just gonna we're gonna rewind that and just say he did.
Yeah, he gave you his name. Like I said, he is a human male. He's 20 to 21 years old.
All right. Well, thank you, Ipsos. I'll go check out the Magefall Mines for for the other magical type stuff. But before I go, on my way in here, I've been seeing the miners go into one of the mine shafts. And I saw another group they were like, I know I would how would you say it? They were wearing something heavier, more durable, and they were going into a separate one. What's going on over there? Is that just like a different type of mine or something, or what of it?
That was it the door with the red mark on?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are an active mine, obviously, and like I said, we do a lot of exploratory mining, and sometimes that exploration doesn't turn up anything, and it just sort of like leaves a hole. And sometimes, the thing that we do find, we find a natural cave or something like that, and sometimes those natural caves are like filled with poisonous gas.
Ooh.
Oh, that's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was like some team going down to investigate like a gas leak or something.
So, to be safe for the workers and here, like me and my mom, we have specialists that go down with special chemical stuff that can help clear out poisons and toxins, and they also like survey in case like there may be cave-ins, that kind of thing. They basically survey when we're done with an area to make sure that it's safe, and they also check them again to make sure that it remains safe, and if anything's got to be filled in or that sort of thing. And occasionally there are critters that move into them too, which sometimes they can be a bit dangerous. Like
bears,
and land sharks and things like that. So, we got to make it's like pest control, but it is dangerous pest control. So that's why they were wearing the heavy gear and stuff that you saw. And whenever we have a section of the mine that needs to be shut down for those sort of situations, that's when we put those little red marks on the door. If you ever go down the mine, you'll see marks on each one of the sections. If it's red, it means dangerous. If it's green, then that's an area that's being actively mined in. And if it's yellow, then that means that there might be danger. It hasn't been assessed yet. So if you do ever go down there, just stay out of the red. Be careful if you go into yellow, and try to stick to the green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's probably a good thing that they're
so we can just
blocking.
go down there.
I'm assuming it's recommended that we don't go down there because poison.
Well, no, I mean like just go down in the mine. I mean like we're just allowed to go down in the mines.
Probably not.
Technically speaking, for your safety, they would rather that you don't. But like the top layers is mostly storage and extra places for people to sleep between shifts and things like that. So those are actually kind of like living sections. So that part of the mine, no, they actually don't really mind if the public comes in there, because the public kind of ins and outs all the time. The actual workers that go deeper into the mine, if you're not dressed as a miner and you're like 4 layers down, they're going to be like hey. But technically speaking, there's nothing stopping you from going down there.
It's like those signs that people put up that's like the point of no return for divers and shit.
Stop me because I can't read.
Yeah, they're like, they don't post a guard, quote unquote, to like keep people from going down.
Quote unquote, yeah.
Yeah, they don't quote unquote post a guard. However, they're very obvious about the fact that if you go into an active mining situation, there is always the possibility of a collapse, and there is always the possibility that somebody might come around the corner in one of those steam powered fucking bulldozers. You're putting your own life and limb at danger if you go down there, is what I'm telling you.
Gotcha.
It is an active work zone, so it's potentially dangerous. But they're not going to they don't have somebody with a loaded crossbow standing there at the front, be like, get the bag off. and according to Ipsos here, the red locations possibly have poisonous gas or other bad air, stuff in them. So therefore, you could be walking into a place where you're going to either suffocate or possibly explode because it's flammable.
Note to self: no fireball.
Fireball, motherfucker!
All right, so after receiving the information from Ipsos, I'd be like, I thank him for his information, and I toss him like 2 gold pieces.
Thank you very much, sir. Shit, I'll be able to buy lunch for like 4 weeks with this.
Basically, slip that dude like a 20 in like the 1950s.
yeah, you just slip that guy a 20 in 1950s money.
I mean, yeah.
Let's just say the information he gave us is kind of priceless, because the way how he pieced things together.
Yeah, what
yeah,
are child labor laws in this place? Do the kids do yearn for the mines?
It is.
I mean, no, that's kind of what is like the gold to like dollar ratio? I don't know. It's always been kind of like iffy to me, because sometimes it's like it's like a gold coin is like $1, and sometimes you'd be like I am a peasant, I've never seen a gold coin in my life, kind of stuff. I don't know.
These to be clear here in Uxland, here in Showbury, these miners, these guys make, roughly speaking, like 5 gold a month is their like salary that the miners make. And they usually are not paid actual coins either. The only people who do real trade in gold, any sort of bulk, is the Empire. So really, the fact that you come in there, you're very clearly, a group of Imperial people are related to Imperial people, and then like just drop a couple of gold on this guy's like desk as pocket change. Yeah, that is the most Imperial fucking thing. These guys do most of their buying and selling in silver and copper. That's what they do mostly deal in. They don't deal with actual gold coins that much. You can think of a copper piece in this economy as roughly equivalent to a dollar bill. So yeah, you did just drop like $200 just because he talked to you in a funny voice on the desk. And he's like,
it was funny. He did give us information.
I like.
Yeah, he did give you actual like merchant information.
I love your funny words, Magic Man. Nothing bad ever happened to the Kennedys.
Yet. But anyways, so gotten that information from Ipsos. You could, if you wanted to, walk into the like top part of the mines, and nobody's going to like question that, and you could talk to other miners that work there. You could go deeper, and that's when they'll start questioning why you're there. So depends on what you want to do, but you've gotten some information about copper debts.
So I think what I do is that while we're outside of the copper depths, I think the group goes back to the inn to discuss the information, because from what Ipsos has told us, and from what I was able to piece together, there is a connection between the Hall's Arrest and the copper depths, but people haven't found the connection yet, and it's like. It's a random draw.
Is it still minus Callie and the rest?
Well, well, they go back. We'll fast forward a couple hours. Callie comes back in, and this information can be shared with you.
Yeah.
All right. Callie just walks in. Yeah, I told you, bro. I could sell that that piece of farming equipment to that guy.
But he already had that piece of farming in his hand. I didn't think he would need a second one.
It's called a spare.
It's called planning. It's called planning.
the other
for an
one great?
emergency.
Yeah. So Callie, you've done a lot of very fucking normal market stuff. You've been dealing with a lot of farmers and a lot of commoners. You have had, though, several Imperials who are very clearly like well dressed and armed. People come who come by who stop, because like, oh hey, you're an Imperial merchant. Not only are you an Imperial merchant, but you're an Azur Kitty, and also you've got like a automaton like guy here next to you, and a guy that's also an Azur Kitty with a robot on. Like they actually give you more of an eyebrow raise than the regular Uxlanders about Tim and Rusi. But roughly about 10 a.m., the party reconvenes back at the Gooseberry Fool to get lunch. Lunch is served as soup in a bread bowl. So everyone gets up like hot soup that's served in like a big ass hollowed out roll.
I did want to ask though, did anybody come by asking for like the purchase of weapons or other like training gear and such?
No one came by asking for weapons. Although let me make a non-public quick.
Alrighty.
Okie dokie then. Okay. Yeah, nobody came by asking for weapons. Yeah. Anyway, and this wasn't a weapon selling like location. So nobody came by asking for it, and the people who probably would have asked you for it, they already on them. Unlike the guy who needed to buy a spare, they didn't need a spare sword and were willing to like ask you outside of the space where you legally can sell a spare sword. But yeah, so the party reconvenes back at the Gooseberry Fool for lunch. And so, with you guys back over at the Gooseberry Fool, getting le lunch, I guess Callie gets filled on the Copper Depths.
Yeah, pretty much I just not only do I slide her like the little postcard of like the materials and stuff like that, and I give Callie like a little cheeky wink, for our for our furniture stuff.
Callie then just like hands it to Tim. Was like, we'll fill this documentation out later. Of like buying some stuff. A will save. Anyway.
But
Lucy's just like good soup.
Oh no, they didn't have that monster spinning it again, did they?
Spin it again, yeah.
Wow.
that feels like a deep cut.
Callie like takes what Seamus said, thinks about it. He's like, yeah, I would have guessed that those guys going down would probably been like, looking for a gas leak or something. That just seems too obvious for them to be hiding some kind of nefarious operation. However, though, there does seem to be a lot more going on down there. I definitely, and then like the link being mentioned is like, Callie mentions like, she says this in Rasu too. Seamus is like, you think potentially the Halls of Rest are using, like reanimated people to bring up the soul gem, like soul gems, like no one in particular, because if they're asking if they're asking a dead body, then it's not like they can witness anything, and they'll just bring up the boxes and stuff.
As Seamus speaks back to Callie and Rasu, a corpse doesn't have to worry about breathing any type of like poison or has to deal with any type of illness nor any type of pain. So possibly there's a strong possibility that that might be the case.
However, though, they do hate spirits, but who knows? Maybe they see automatons in a different light. Oh wait, that's the serene. Sorry, never mind. Ignore that. That's the serene.
Yeah.
Sure. The other church or whatever. Callie says, do you think our next course of action would be to maybe like stake out the halls of rest and see if there's like a large group of undead moving stuff in and out, or like potentially undead moving, suspicious unmarked goods in and out of the city?
That, or we could always just explore the copper depths. But ultimately, either choice works for me. Thank you, Tor.
Callie looks at Bruce. He's like, "Bro, you've been eating that soup pretty loudly."
It just loudly smacks lips.
he like stops with his like spork up and like looks back down at the soup and he's like, they put it in bread. I can't just like pour it into the, I have to eat it with the helmet off. Sorry, am I chewing too loud?
Wow.
Wow, rude much?
No, it's just you don't usually do that. That's what she says.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, I'll try to chew. Kind of like a hunks down. He's like,
Soup must be that good, damn.
I mean, soup, good soup.
It is pretty good soup.
Every time the GM types something, I just get nervous.
Yeah. Can I do a perception check to see if there is anything weird about him, particularly like putting his face in that bread of soup?
He's just, now when you say his face, I just imagine it, like he's got his whole fucking head submerged in the bread bowl.
I mean, he's wearing basically, like one of those old diving suits with the
I'll
helmet.
do the same.
And he's got the portal open so he can eat.
He's got the front open. His 4 ears are sticking out.
so you just munch. Hey, actually, you know what? Let me see. What? Okay. Rusi is not trained.
I have to automatically change it to like Laria every time I refresh it. It's so annoying.
Okay, so yeah, Rusi's not trained in deception. Yeah, he is eating awkwardly because he's clearly trying to eat. But also half of the entire rest of the inside of this building, as you guys are in the commons room, going over this information and having lunch with everybody else. Everyone is trying to stare at Torque while not staring at Torque. As she continues to just be this supermodel that's just sitting there daintily at the table with slowly eating her bowl of soup and
Callie looks at him and then it clicks oh, I see how it is now. But not like in an offended way. She's like I've figured my brother out kind of way.
Yeah, he is trying to actively not make eyes, obviously, at the beautiful woman right across the table from him who keeps suggestively licking her silverware.
Callie,
Okay. Can I
Callie,
like
Callie
get perception if like Torque is like intentionally like suggestively eating at Callie's brother, or it's just in general, or
Callie's
This is
gonna like lean over. Callie's gonna lean over and talk, like whisper June. It's like, did I like miss something? Like when you got with you guys or something? What? I could swear that like Torque is like glowing with some kind of like bimbo magic or something.
I would just say, is there something going on between the three of y'all?
GM? My cheeks hurt. I'm laughing too hard.
Oh fuck! I my fucking chair. Oh fuck!
I mean, she seems to be glowing with bimbo magic. That's what it seems.
Oh fuck! Ow! I fell out of my chair laughing. I'm sorry.
Oh, I had to put my headset down. Put my
Oh god.
It's like
You know what? June, make a perception check. The DC is incredibly low.
Thank you for the
GM. GM.
There's another below.
Request to play a sound. Request.
I mean, go right ahead, Jay. At this point.
Oh hey, Tim is here.
Hey,
Tim, here just in
Tim.
time.
Hey, dude!
You're just in time for the glowing bimbo magic.
Crackling with bimbo magic.
The bimbo aura is leaking out, and everybody sees it.
Oh god.
Just listen.
Okay.
Oh, he
All
missed
right.
it.
I'm just like, I'm seeing how Fuzzy's typing, and I'm like, it just. Oh.
Man, that is a phrase that is going to stay with me. Glowing with bimbo magic.
I mean, she's glowing with bimbo magic.
It's so incredibly stupid, and it is so correct. It is so 1,000% correct. Oh.
That's getting quoted.
Oh god. Okay. So June, being the person who is most in tune with Torque and her like moods and ways and all that sort of thing. Yes, she is glowing with bimbo magic. She is productively eating her fucking food. She is actively but versus basically everybody who isn't a PC, she is actively being a distraction.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I was asking if it was like specifically at Rusi, or was it just in general? So it's just in general.
It's more in general. But like, since he's the closest male character who isn't a PC, he is the one who is getting it point blank. Like he's center of the god beam that she is just blasting out.
Callie is like, Callie then kind of like smirks like at the mentions like her brother's like, you ain't jealous, are you? She says in a very evil tone.
Holy shit! I'm still dying.
She's smiling like that one SpongeBob meme of like you like Krabby Patties,
don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Ben, okay. June looks at Callie, raises an eyebrow, and
Vine boom.
just like without a word, still looking at her, she scoots up to Torque. I imagine like she's sitting next to Torque, because obviously she would be. She scoots up. She puts a hand around Torque's waist and next to her, and just again still looking at Callie, then turns to Torque and says okay, so she turns to Torque, hand around her waist, and she says, "That looks delicious. Can I have a bite?"
Torque, like, slowly pulls the spork, like, out from, like, between her lips and looks at, June, like, leans into June and, like, full force beam into June's face. And she says, in common, the soup, like, question mark, the soup. And then she says, in Orcish, or me.
Bro. This is a spicy session. Ooh, the spices.
She says, in common, the soup, and then she says in her kind of a very, I won't say heavy accented Orcish that she's learning, and she says in Orcish, tonight, you. And then she
falls over laughing in her chair. She's like, "That's not what you said in Orcish." And then she starts laughing her ass off.
And she takes the spork in, like, kind of like holds Torque's hand, holding the spork, and then she, like, puts it in her mouth, like equally suggestively, but she is like directly looking at Rusi.
Torque, like, turns her head so that, like, her forehead is, like, touching June's forehead, and she's also making eye contact. See, like, in the exact, like, same way as June is, like, licking the spoon. And hold on. You see him, like he looks at the two of you. He looks at Callie, like, laughing her ass off as she's falling to the floor.
Yeah, because the heavily accented Orcish sounded like something else. She said something completely different than what she was.
And he glances around at, like, the rest of the, like, room, which has all come quieted down, staring at you guys. and then he just slowly pushes his bread bowl away, stands up, very carefully, turns very carefully, and then, like, he's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." And then he kind of awkwardly shuffles out of the room.
Oh, damn, I didn't embed properly. I hate it.
But yeah,
Larry just looks at Callie and says, "I feel like we shouldn't even be witnessing this right now."
Callie leans over to. She's still, like, trying to, like, she's still hollering. She, like, leans over. Wait, it might have been my fault why this happened, and honestly, I'm happy it happened because this is fucking hilarious. She says, while still laughing at the whole thing. Not at what happened with Rusi, but June's attempt to flirt in Orcish.
Hey, she learned it to talk with her girlfriend, Anyway.
God,
yeah,
I know. Just still kind of.
And she's still very fresh. June is still very fresh with Orcish. But yeah, Rusi cannot withstand the double power coming from June and Torque, who he's already had, like, intrusive thoughts about. So,
intrusive thoughts.
What? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
So-
Callie then calms down and is like, "Okay, enough of this fucking nonsense. This is stupid." She says, "This is not what we're here for."
But either way, what you are here for, let's recenter on that while having a moment. But like, so you guys have gotten some information from the cops. They have had some sort of connection with the halls of rest. They've found at least one loose Draugr down there in a what they said was a otherwise empty cavern.
I never ended up asking. Did any of the nuns from the halls of rest show up to the stand?
No, you never saw anybody who was very clearly part of the halls of rest. There were a couple of people who very clearly were wearing Serenade, like holy symbols, but they didn't seem to be clergy or anything like that. Or, members of the faith. But there were zero people with Orcus's symbol or anything like that.
All right, Scooby Gang, time to do some investigating.
Scooby Gang.
All right. Wait, which one of y'all is Scooby?
Dr. Tremors.
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Tremors
Wouldn't he be
definitely
Scrappy?
Scott.
Oh no, he's I feel like he has more in common with fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog than he does Scrappy, honestly.
Well, you know what? I believe Courage and Scooby had a crossover.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's why I made that connection.
Okay.
As soon
Well,
as you said that, I'm like, Jamal, I'm no one's Wartworld. I'm no one's Wartworld.
Larry, Callie was over to Larry's, like, also asked, like, have you noticed anything weird about my dad as well, Seamus?
Oh man, that didn't work.
Have I noticed anything weird about Seamus?
Yeah, he seems awfully distant for some reason.
You know, yeah, now, like, Larry will, like, think about it for a second and be like, yeah, you know, now that you mention it, yeah. He's very, very distant and very quiet.
There we go.
is it because he's in the kitchen? Where he belongs? Making you a sandwich?
But yeah.
He made me pasta.
He making the pasta.
Oh, he already made it, but yeah.
All right. I see.
Oh god.
Callie to the rest of the Callie to the rest. Callie looks at the rest of the gang and then sees June and Torque double teaming that spoon, and then looks at the rest of the party and is like, oh man, should we stake out the halls of rest or should we go investigate the other riots?
Seamus is just all like, just try to eat his Red Bull in peace while the shenanigans are happening.
He's like, oh man, I'm so proud of my daughter for causing this kind of chaos.
That's my girl. I think, Jesus Christ, Fuzzy. I think probably what would be the best course of action would be the Halls of Rest, because I feel like the Halls of scoping out the Halls of Rest would probably be a lot easier for both Seamus and Callie.
True, yeah.
Considering and possibly June, unless she's preoccupied.
She's still tag teaming that fucking spoon. It's fine.
No, they stopped whenever Brucey left.
Yeah, like when Rusi gets up and excuses himself, Torque does like actively tone it down. She doesn't stop, just beaming the rest of like the But she does tone it down, so at least no one else should have a heart attack or lose consciousness due to blood rush, while you guys are just eating fucking lunch.
June.
So
June still
horny in
holds
the
Torque and looks
suit.
incredibly pleased with herself, but she stops.
I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you 120.
Alrighty. I think I think well, I mean, if I were to think plainly here, Callie says I think those two should be locked up in horny jail. But
You don't want to
anyway,
keep them together. You can't keep them together. It's a bad idea.
Callie's like, well,
Solitary
yeah,
confinement.
we could scope out the halls of rest. I think it would be important and essential.
Okay.
Callie then also asks, because now that Seamus is back, she's like, Dad, why have you seem very distant as of late, she says.
I have?
Well, just a bit, like, distracted, if that
Well,
makes any
I mean,
sense.
Laria would say, yeah, I've noticed that too.
Something on your mind, she says.
Nah, it's nothing to worry about, kiddo. Don't worry about it. And he kind of like pats her head and like a little bit like a little kitty noogie. You know what I mean? And you see Seamus put on a smile.
Alright, well, if it's nothing, then yeah, we could go with our plan. Hopefully we haven't been too loud about it. She looks at. But I mean, then Callie like remembers like, oh yeah, those guys over there, probably taking everyone's attention. It's fine.
I was getting ready to say, I don't think anybody could have hurt us with, that going on.
Callie's also like, I do feel a little bit bad about for my brother, but it was funny the outcome. Hearing heavily accented Orcish.
I don't like that what's going on. To the prosecutor's office, page
just so that you guys are aware, there's probably like 8 or 9 like regular civilians, who are here in the commons room, which like everybody had like a real good laugh at Rusi having to excuse himself. Even though there are a couple of other people in the room, on edge of needing to excuse themselves. But like when Torque actively tones it down and all that sort of stuff, people go back to their own conversations and stuff like that. So there's no one in here who's paying strict attention to you guys. Okay, so the plan is, so far, stake out the halls of rest and get some more information on that location and thing.
Yeah, more information on this soul. Maybe maybe if they're, just more information in general on where the soul gem mines might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since it's still we still got plenty of daylight to burn before we do the stakeout.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it is 10 a.m. Yes.
Yeah.
10
Oh
a.m.
yeah, then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot it's still morning.
Yeah, it's still morning, technically speaking. Now the sun does go down pretty early. You're like talking like 6 p.m. The sun is down. But so you've still got hours. Yeah, you've still got hours before that happens.
Horny at 10 a.m. Oh, it's not our fault. They're just horny, bro. The horny is specifically like isolated to that area over there.
But yes. So everybody else is not really like paying you guys as strict attention. They do keep glancing back over in like Torque's direction because she's still just a shining beacon. But yeah, Otherwise, nobody's really paying you guys much money. Several hours before it gets dark. So if you want to stake out the Halls of Rest, how do you want to go about doing that?
Well, I'm a fish person. I can't just throw on like a robe or something because I would hide the fishy bits.
Oh,
Oh, he's home.
he trying to get to that computer.
He is fiending, bro. Anyway,
I mean, since Seamus is kind of covered in robes, Seamus might be able to like stealth his way in there.
maybe,
I mean, possibly. I mean, your Magus robes and like the robes that you saw Priestess
Are there
Olgi
any,
wearing,
like,
they do not look the same.
Are there any higher, like, tall buildings that are overlooking, like, the Hall of Rest or whatever, that overlook, you know?
Oh yes,
everything?
like very much so. The Dawn Castle has the tallest tower in the entire city.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's like so far away.
Well, I mean, if you're at the top of the tower of the Dawn Castle, you can quite literally see straight down onto the Halls of Rest. It's only like a block or two away. So
we might leave one person here on the ground, and then maybe like Callie goes in the tower.
it's like literally less than 100 meters as the crow flies.
Callie might have. Who's got the best perception here? Actually, we might want the person with the best perception up in the tower.
Well, let's see here. Rusi is a 18 and also has low light. Then he's got a 14.
15? Oh,
14. Yeah. 14 with low light. Torque has a 13 with low light. What are we looking at with players here? Let's just go down the board.
Great with
Mine's a
comes to
15.
vision. She's got an 11. You got a 15.
Can
got a 12
anybody beat a
with perception.
15?
Well, that's the thing. June has 15, but she has human vision,
Yeah, I
so
have
she
human
might not be
vision
able to
now.
see shit.
I have 15.
Oh yeah, I
Nice.
forgot. We got the dog.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
But the dog might be, but the dog might be great on the ground though, because he's got that grandiose sniffer of his.
The great.
Yep.
Grandiose.
He do got that grandiose.
Yes, I do be
sniffer.
dogging. Yes, I do be dogging.
And I mean, it wouldn't be hard for him to just pretend to be a stray dog, and all he has to do is strip naked, like he did that one time. He was so willing to do it for some reason.
Tim.
He said, "Hey, that was a kind of different time. That was a."
I would also point out that Tim the Vanguard does have a 16. He has low light vision. He can be in two places at once.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll have we'll have Tim go up in the tower then. Have Tim and Rusi go up in the tower then, because they probably got the best vision out of the most.
Between the two of them, yeah, they've got extremely good vision, and Tim. Actually, technically, Tim couldn't have Brick on the ground, because let me bring up the thing about the tower. Because the tower.
We can talk,
itself-
guys. Yeah, you could dab each other.
Let's see here. Okay, the Dawn Castle. Just to be clear, it is a full. And the Dawn Castle Tower structure in Showbury, it reaches more than 1,000 feet into the sky.
Damn.
So like if you were in the top of, if you were at the absolute top of the tower, then yeah, you're over 1,000 feet straight up. But if you were in like say the 4th floor window, just overlooking, you could still get a perfectly good view of the halls.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have to actually go to the top. You'd only have to go up like 3 or like at least 3. Probably you want to be 4.
I
or
just
maybe
had
5
a really funny thought on how Callie ends up not looking suspicious. She just puts like a leash on Dr. Trevor and starts pretending to walk him at night or whatever.
It's like, oh, I gotta go walk my dog.
Yeah, it's normal 5 a.m. walking my dog. Walking my not rat, you know.
Yeah, walking your not rat who has a gun. Ignore that. Yeah, you could go walk your rat-a-tat at night.
Yeah, yes. Alright, let's
So-
go walk my rat-a-tat.
Okay, so as far as pacing the joint is concerned, Tim and Rusi, the idea is that Tim and Rusi would go in the tower at the Dawn Castle, and then, get up like 4 or 5 floors so that they have a view over all, can see the Halls of Rest building and its general area around it. Callie and Jamal could very eally.
I'm walking my dogs. She's got a leash for both of them.
could prowl the street because Callie's walking her dog and also
walking my other dog.
and also your other dog, which also has a gun.
Your other dog, which also has a
Bigger guns.
Your other dog with the other gun.
Jamal's like, I hate this plan. And he's like, well, you're the guy's like, but you're the one that came up with this plan.
I mean,
Jamal, like, you don't have to be weird about it. You don't have to be.
You don't have to be weird about it.
It just comes out as root though.
Okay, so that gives you guys 2 angles of view on the location. Is anyone going to try to get inside of the halls?
Crap, I dropped my...
I was thinking, well, would it be too big attention grabbing if we met June and Torque go inside?
Not really. The place is open 24/7 to the public. Like the main building is open 24/7 to the public.
I mean, if they're inside, it might take they might take the distraction out, is what I'm trying to say. Like they'll mind us casing the joint as much. I mean, I think it would be. Well, do you have a different idea?
I did. Well, June did have like the idea, like maybe to ask about the what are the zombies called again?
They're the Draugr.
Draugr. I don't know why I said that.
It might be good to like just like, if it would be a good idea or a bad idea to like say like, hey, we heard that there was a Draugr just like kind of wandering around the mines by itself. What's the deal? Like, what's the deal with that? Would that be like a good idea or a bad idea to just like straight up ask him or like try to investigate that?
Well, probably not, because if the guy at the desk knows, then I'd assume a lot of people know, because it seems like that's just public knowledge or public information.
Well, it probably not, because he did say too.
Well, I mean, like, it doesn't seem like it's information that, like, it wouldn't be too privy to ask, to be like, oh, how the hell did you could just, like, if they get suspicious, you could probably just say, hey, yo, the guy at
it
the
could
front
be just
desk.
like, oh, it's just a rumor or something like that.
Yeah, you just say, like,
Plus,
hey, or you could just go, like, the more, like, personal route. You just say the guy at the desk at the copper mine said something about it.
Plus, Torque points out, we're foreigners, so like we could always just go in there to ask this question because we don't know how they I get that they worship their ancestors and they use the zombie guys as like protection and stuff. I understand that. I think that's a little weird, but like we are literally foreigners that are not from here. We're asking questions because we don't know. It's not something that's part of our background or our culture. So us showing up and asking questions about a random draw. We heard about a random draw found somewhere and then having to be like,
Yeah.
like, is that a common thing? I think that that's actually a pretty reasonable question for us to ask.
Yeah. And while you guys do that, we can scope out and see if anything suspicious is happening. I think that's a good plan.
Okay, so
Sounds
June
good
and
to me.
I will go in and we'll chat up the tall lady
Yeah,
about the Draugrs.
Extra large bed.
Yeah, so we'll chat her up and see what she has to say about it while you guys keep an eye out around the building.
Okay.
Okay.
I
That
was just
sounds
like,
like a plan.
walking my dogs. One of them goes, "I'm not a dog," and then the other one says, "Fuck."
And then the other one says, "Fuck, I'm not a dog either."
It says it in
but-
Jamal's voice too.
Yeah.
Jamal,
perfectly
stop
mixed
it! Jamal, stop it!
Ban that.
Stop it. Okay, so then
He's dead,
we know
Joel.
what Tim is doing. We know what Rusi is doing. We know what Jamal and Callie are doing. We know what June and Torque are doing. So that really leaves us with our two magic folk. So what is our Magus Oracle doing?
Tree.
Man,
I'm sorry. That was the truth.
Tree?
in this fucking weather, my man, bro, there's like it's
Ain't,
like
ain't
winter,
no
remember?
ain't no leaves.
My man, my man, bro, did you forget that it's winter and the trees are all naked?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It is winter, Jay, and while there aren't ever trees around, this is mostly deciduous. So most of the trees are pretty bare. But yeah. What are the magic folk doing?
Well, I mean, I think we're probably all just gonna agree to stake out the halls of rest, honestly.
I'm here.
Okay. You're here.
And the robot's here.
The robot is going to be seeing from a distance.
Here with an immense amount of disappointment.
Why?
Your day has been ruined.
Because he
Completely.
wasn't
He
here
didn't
for
get
the
to
crackling
he didn't get
with
to
bimbo
join in the
energy.
horny. That's why.
No, I'm upset that it happened at all. Eyes on the prize, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, yeah.
Coming from you, that's surprising.
Well, I mean, it only.
Okay.
I mean,
Tim
honestly,
is here
though-
to find out what his life is, and y'all are horny. God damn it!
Okay, it wasn't me. It
I
wasn't like
know.
most of the. It wasn't like 90% of the party. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
I was just trying to eat my
Get our
soup.
let's get our facts right here.
I mean, Callie was one of the
Does
ones
Jamal
jealous.
want to get engaged in that?
I mean, it was funny. It was.
It was incredibly
It was
hilarious. It was organic, and it was also diegetic, and that was the thing that was just so good about it.
It all started from me.
We have to.
I
look
need
like normal people
every
somehow.
amount of context. I have no
God.
clue what the fuck happened,
God,
but we can
Torque
do
is
it
gonna write-
later.
Torque is
Later, yeah,
gonna
later.
write that down.
Later. Okay,
Yeah,
right now
Torque
you're
is gonna
going
write
to.
that down in her fucking diary. Callie said, "I was glowing with bimbo magic."
Where'd they even hear that word from?
Where'd you hear
Yeah.
that from?
Secondhand sources is what she says.
How does Callie
I
even-
might have heard my dad say it a couple of times.
Also,
Uh,
it's a VOD. I don't
I
know.
didn't teach her that.
Him going homina for that one witch.
I'll have to try and figure it out. Every time I've tried to watch the VOD, some of them I just don't. They don't work for me.
he
So
denies
I'm hoping
it, but
this
I
is
could
one that works.
Don't worry.
He denies it, but I could easily see him saying
Uh.
bimbo by accident in front of like Kid Callie, and then having to spend 5 hours trying to explain it in a way that doesn't sound awful to her, because Kid Callie asks so many damn questions about everything all the time.
Dad, why did that library have X?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Dad, why won't you let me say the word bimbo? What's so bad about it?
I'll tell you when you're older. Just don't say it.
Okay. Well, that comedy aside, yeah, okay, so the party is going to go stake out the halls of rents. So everybody gets their roles of what they're doing.
Yeah,
So,
perception, right?
God damn it.
So, for those of you who are going to be scoping out the area, so everybody except June and Torque, I need you guys to give me. Well, first of all, Tim, since you are here, Brucey's going to let you take the lead as far as like getting you guys into the. In order to like get to the tower.
Is it a good idea for Laria to be outside at night?
No, we're all gonna be like staking out the.
I mean, Callie's walking her dog, so like, I don't know if they're gonna be
And-
looking at you particularly.
And well, let me also ask a quick clarification question here. Are you guys going to be doing this during the daylight?
Oh, no, it's
Dark
obviously gonna be
or-
during night because they're gonna be that would make the most sense for them to do it at night.
Yeah, I mean, best time for them to move soul gems would probably be when everybody's like asleep, I guess. I would assume.
Okay. All right. Yep. I get you.
All right.
Okay. So then, that means or we'll just say that like during the day, the party casually walks around the area to, scope out the alleyways and buildings around, just to give a general looky-loo. So I want everybody then to go ahead and make a perception check, and I will go ahead and get one for the NPCs as well.
Tim and I with a 26.
I'm a I kind of want to see if I can get higher than that.
Oh
but
man, Mr. Service doesn't see anything.
He's blind as
He needs to
fuck.
get more wiper fluid.
Yeah, he needs more windshield wiper fluid.
Oh no, Larry.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Another 33.
Nice.
Jamal is locking in as his dog persona.
He's on it today.
I mean,
He is-
honestly, I feel like Callie would be at just as fucking like weird, like would feel just as awkward as Jamal is feeling about the whole thing. Be like, I mean, this is your plan, but I guess it's your plan, so it doesn't mean I get accused of being weird.
All Jamal knows is he is blending in.
he is you know what? Since Jamal is the one who is Jamal.
Yeah.
First of all, let me let me open up Dr. Trimmer's sheet here. Okay, Jamal, give me a deception check.
Okay. With deception.
Okay.
I can't believe the fucking rat got a better deception check.
Hey, the rat is built for deception.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the rat is built for deception. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
built for
so-
perspective.
So, Dr. Trimmers, with his very limited understanding going on here, Callie explains to Dr. Trimmers that you guys are casing a joint. He understands crime, on a spiritual level. So,
Oh
so
man,
he knows
that quote.
Callie just falls more in love with Dr. Tremors.
So he also intimately understands that Callie's the one who's going to be doing the crime. So his job is to take any sort of suspicion away from Callie. So he does that by being a distracting, yappy little dog. He is barking in Jamal's voice.
He starts turning into a chihuahua.
Yeah, he's doing his best Chihuahua impression. But he's using Jamal's voice to bark. And every time Jamal side eyes Dr. Trimmers just hits him with the wild fucking Chihuahua look that's in two different directions that says it's going to hump you if it can find you in its blind spots.
Why is this game so horny?
But Dr. Trimmers is just being an active little shit to distract from Callie, who's supposed to be doing the actual scoping. Okay, so let's go down.
This
Let's go
game is
down the
like
list
a
though
Race League
with like actual
Tim is going to
perception.
buy a bat.
So this is during the day before you guys do the nighttime stakeout. So as you guys are prepping and looking around in the area, you notice that the halls of rest, just to re-explain it here, is like a big dome. It is like the top of the dome would count as basically a as high as a two-story building. But then on top of this dome, which is made to hold the weight of snow, which happens yearly, there are people who live in snow, like igloos, basically, on top of the Hall of Rest. Like these are like one little person pup tent sized igloo. It is temporary housing for like homeless people, and they are really the only people who pay any attention whatsoever. Case in the joint. None of them like call you on it or anything, but you get the vibe that they understand that you're casing the joint, and they're not getting in your way or anything like that. You guys are a bunch of armed. They're not going to say anything about it. They're already homeless. But other than that, the rest of the buildings around the hall are mostly like residential area. It's definitely an older, like economically downturned kind of section. There's a lot of bars, small like eateries, shops, that sort of thing. You come across actually a flyer specifically for the underbar, which can be found over at the wall, and all of that sort of stuff. And as it gets later into the day, traffic dies down really quick. So eventually it's just the homeless people are out, and they are very rapidly to their little snow domes where they apparently have the ability to at least light up a little small personal fire or something, and keep themselves otherwise warm and good enough to sleep the night. But they bed down pretty much as soon as the sun goes down, and very rapidly you guys are mostly the only people on the streets. So Tim, since you're heading the group that is going upstairs in the Dawn Castle, you need to let the priests of Serenay know that you guys are going.
We need really high ground to pray.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to be close to the angels physically in order to like pray
Pretty
or
much.
whatever.
He's just gonna pull up and be like, can we go up?
Why is he so chill about it?
I mean,
I didn't know you're chill right again, bro.
I mean, yeah. There's no real reason you can't go up there. Some people occasionally make the pilgrimage to go pray at the feet of Serenay. Are you here on a pilgrimage? I mean, no offense to you, sir, but I have literally met one other Imperial automaton before, and they were not a follower of Serenay. Are you a follower of Serenay? Rusi is behind you, nodding his head, like he's like, yes, like clearly lying and expecting you to say something.
We are potential converts to the belief of Serenay, so we would like somewhere high and somewhere private to be closer to her guidance to pray.
Okay. Should Serenay, accept you into her into her fold, and you accept Sarah. We do have services that we hold down here on the ground floor. If you would like to participate in that, we hold services at Dawn. This is the Dawn Castle. She is, the Dawn. She's the Dawn Flower. But we also hold services at sundown and at midnight. So if either of those tickle your fancy, please feel free to join us. And Tim, I need you to make a diplomacy check.
Oh man, you should be good at these.
I'm re-rolling that. I rolled a friggin' 2.
Did you say that?
There we go.
Okay.
Better.
I was just about to say the D. Not terrible, but yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not terrible, but goddamn.
The priest of Serenade, gives you kind of a look where he's like, all right. And so he points you over to where the stairs are. He tells you to be careful during this time of year. It does get very cold, especially as it gets darker, and ice does form on the stairs. But there's railing and there is light at each one of the landings. So just be careful as you go up there. And if you go all the way up, there is a railing around the top where the statue is at. And he says, should the angels call to you, you
Say again?
commit suicide by jumping off the 1,000-foot tall tower.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you cut out hard and all I heard was suicide off a tower. I was like, huh?
The angels call out to you, tell you to jump. That's probably not the angels.
Do a flip!
Yeah, if the angels tell you to do a flip, that's not the angels talking.
Yeah. Tim's just gonna start going up the stairs and just claps Rusi on the back and just goes, meat bags, am I right? And then just keeps climbing the stairs.
Yes, I love just dropping racial slurs.
Tim's feeling extra robot today.
He's extra
Man, everybody just feels different today.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you guys get into position. The rest of you get into position, and as the sun has hit its bottom and it is dropping below the horizon, Torque and June enter into the main body of the Halls of Rest. So, June, since you are the thing, would you... since you're the driving PC, for this particular situation, when you guys first enter, there are the bodies which are all dried and preserved and whatnot that are reposed in the main room. You don't see Priestess Olgi or anybody else when you first enter in there. It's just you, Torque, and a bunch of dead guys.
I forgot to change the music.
And it is quiet.
All right, well, is there any sign where people could be? The priestess or otherwise? Like any...
Well, the room that they were doing the ritual in before is basically, you've got the big main room, which is a worship space as well as space for the recently departed. And then you have a hallway that leads back into other chambers that are, clearly for other uses, and there's got to be at least a personal room for Priestess Olgi and any other nuns or anybody else who's here. But you've got a hallway that leads to the back, which you've gone down before, and then you've got a matching on the other side of the room that also leads back that you haven't been down. Neither hallway has doors, but there are doors to these different chambers down hallways.
Mm-hmm. And the one we went down before, that was to where again? I'm sorry.
It's basically the one on your right. So you've been down the one on the right, and it is literally the first door on your left. After you enter into that is the chamber where you guys met with Olgi and where she was doing the raising up that draugr.
Well, June just kind of squeezes Torque's hand and asks her what she thinks of the place.
Well, I gotta say, in the kingdom, the way that we handle funerary rites and stuff is a lot different than this. It's a bit creepy. I'll give you that. It's also really quiet. Are we still gonna track down a nun and ask questions? Is that still the plan?
Well, I guess the first step in that would be finding one.
Yeah. Well, we know that down that hallway, there's the room where they were doing the ritual. There's got to be personal chambers, and maybe there's a private worship area that's just for the clergy or something. That's probably in the back. This is just a big public room. So
you think it'd be that way? She says, pointing toward the left hallway.
Or
would it be further down?
I mean,
that way.
I would say we try the right hall because we have been down that one at least partially. I say we try there, and then we are, I guess, literally lost. So if we stumble onto somebody, we've already got a cover story.
Yeah. Well, if we see more just ritual chambers, we can assume that hallway is for those purposes only, and if we don't find anything else, we can see if maybe the other hallways, they're personal chambers. I guess then let's go. And,
all right.
Brick is with Tim right there. Just all right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, June and Torque head to the right hallway. Down the right hallway, there are, as this is all well lit, there's plenty of braziers and all that sort of stuff. So while this isn't the best lighting, even June's regular human vision is. This hallway is a pretty straight, wide hallway. It's a good 10 to 15 feet wide hallway, and you've got a door on the left-hand side, which goes to that ritual chamber. That door is currently closed. You don't see any light coming out from under the door. Mm-hmm. There is a door on the right-hand side of the hallway that does have light coming out from under the door. And then further down the hallway, neither of them have light coming out. So you do know out of these 4 doors, one of them's got light coming out from underneath.
June nods to the door with light on it. What does Torque do?
Torque is still she's following along. She has her hands kind of folded behind her back, she's doing, she's actively pretending to be a tourist, sort of thing. She is going along with the plan.
All right. Then I guess
sort of
we'll
thing.
Go to the door that has light on in it.
Okay. When you get there, make a perception check for me, please.
Okay, perception.
All right. More than good enough. Okay. So, as you get close to the door, you do hear noises coming from behind the door. You hear very clearly what sounds like stone hitting stone, like a rhythmic sort of like clack, grind, clack, grind, clack, grind kind of noise. And you can smell a very sort of pungent odor coming from the doorway. It's not like pleasant, but it's also not like gross or anything like that. It's very like herby.
Okay. Can I
kind of
crack
smell
the door and just kind of like peek in like the little like slit in the door, or is it like already cracked? Or
it is not cracked. You would have to do that.
Stealth?
Are you going to do it like you're just opening the door, or are you trying to be?
I'm trying to be sneaky about it. You know, not just gonna like kick the door down, but like not all hunched low to the ground, like trying to be overly like suspicious looking. But yeah, but stealth.
All right, I got you. Let's see here. Let me get what the stealth DC is. Okay, so all right, so yeah, hit me with that stealth. Okay. All right. Well, June turns the knob. There's a little bit of a click of the release of the latch, and you pull the door like into the hallway a little bit so that you can look through there and get a peek through. And June can see again a well that looks kind of like a kitchen. Like you see a lot of stuff that you would expect, as like kitchen materials and things like that. But it also just has a like apothecary sort of vibe to it. And inside of the room, you see two people. Both of them are. One of them is very clearly Olgi because she's 7+ feet tall. And is just like tall and narrow and everything. She is still wearing the same robes as before. She still has the cloth mask that covers her face, but she has taken off her gloves, and the hands that you see that are currently manipulating a pestle are very gaunt, and Priestess Olgi might have a bit of a skin condition of some sort that she's starting to like peel and crack. But like she's currently doing a mortal and pestle thing. And then across from her, there is another person who is like regular adult human height that is wearing similar robes, vaguely seems to be feminine shaped, who is standing at another counter, who has sheets of some sort of material, think like sheets of paper, but they're clearly not paper. Some sort of like dried leaves or herbs or something, and is partitioning those out and then cutting them into thin strips with a long knife.
Okay. Well,
neither of them notice you looking.
Okay. Well, June will just kind of like she won't like fully step back from the door, but like she'll like just kind of lean towards Torque and like nod, like people are in there, and then she will like normally open the door and just in like her most like kind of like innocent sounding voice be like, "Hello, is anybody here?"
Whoa.
All right. You pull open the door and be like, "Hello," and all that sort of stuff. And the two people like stop, and just turn and look your way. Like none of them like jumps or startles or anything like that. But both of them look your direction, and the regular sized person under their veil, under their like hood veil thing, they aren't wearing a mask, and they are very wrinkled, very old, like very old woman kind of thing, who, like she turns and sees you, and then the first thing that she does is drops or doesn't drop it, like she sets down the knife and reaches up into the hood to like pull down the like cloth mask over her face, whereas Olgi sets aside her mortar and pestle and like reaches for her gloves and starts to pull them on, and she speaks up and she says, "Yes, how can I help you? It's late.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
thought we were
didn't mean
done
to.
for the day."
Oh, sorry. I kind of shut off on accident there. What'd you say after that?
She just said that I thought we were.
Ooh, you're cutting out again. Sorry about that. Discord
Ding
being
dang. She said she says I thought we were done for the day.
June will say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just was stopping by. I don't know if you remember me. I came by the other day with the. I'm trying to remember what Callie's thing is. The
Fino
Workshop. Yeah, the
Workshop.
Fino Workshop.
Oh, you are with the merchant. Yes, I remember you. And I also remember your companion there. What can we do for you?
Tim. Well, we just were curious about the place and we're hoping we could talk to you a bit more.
And she stops and looks at the other lady, and she murmurs something, like whisper tone. And the other woman like turns to her, gives a nod, and then like turns back to the stuff that she has at the table and starts collecting all of those things while Olgi slips on her gloves and steps over to where June is, and it basically just looms, like over June, and like she, and obviously June has dealt with plenty of people who are quite larger than her, but Olgi looms like, like her head like careens forward and above you, and she just kind of like curves up and over you like a dark fucking wave. When she gets close, her voice remains very like, sort of like sweet old ladyish. But as she gets up to you and she slips on her gloves, she's like, "What can I? What can I answer for you? What questions bother your mind at this time of?"
Well, when we did arrive, we happened to notice, hopefully we weren't being too rude watching you. You were performing some ritual on a miner, I guess, and they were with their previous loved one. And
I hear this dice, bro. I'm so worried.
No, you don't have to worry about being rude. It was a bit surprising, but these halls are open to the public all of the time, so it is no harm. No, what is the Imperial saying? No harm, no foul, I believe is the term. You were not being rude. You do not have to be concerned about that. Those sort of duties happen with regularity here. We have many people here in Shawbury who, reach the end of their mortal lives, and when they are brought here for their rest, we make sure that their family is, appropriately processing the grief, and everything that may be associated with that passing. We honor the spirit of the person, and we honor their passing on to their proper judgment at the hands of Pharasma. But as you are probably aware, Pharasma is not the to which I issue prayers. Mine is the deity Orcus, and I have had plenty of imperial people like you ask me about that. Orcus does not have a good reputation amongst yours, and it's understandable. He does come from a dark place, but he is not entirely dark and evil. It can be a bit scary and a bit spooky, but he teaches us to be honorable and respectful to the body after the spirit has passed. That undeath does not have to be a curse or a plague, but can be a blessing. And that is what I try to bring to these people and to those who come here for their final. So many of these ceremonies do not have any sort of audience. And while it may have been a bit awkward for you and for the family, that woman who was here, uh, her brother had passed away, had reached his end, and it may have been a bit awkward, but you know, if Pharasma allowed his spirit to look down upon the proceedings, I think he might be honored to know that there were others who witnessed his body being processed into a new productive.
Well, she seemed to be relieved, at the very least. And
Oh, yes.
and while I don't sway to one god or another particularly, I just did pique my interest to after I saw it firsthand. I was wondering though, are you the only one in Shoburi that practices this?
Well, no, I am not the only one who practices here. There are a few other nuns, but none of the other nuns have received the blessing to, to actually animate the body after the spirit has passed. That is a honor which is mine alone at the moment.
Oh, that's fairly interesting. I just had been asking about it, people around the city, just to try to learn more. I did hear something interesting, though, that they found a... what was the name for...
Drummer.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Drummer.
The Droner. What was the name for it? Droner, if that's what you call them. That one or two of them have been found wandering around.
The pronunciation is Droger, but close enough. I understand.
Draugr, yes. One or two of them have been found wandering around some mines. I don't know if they wander around or get lost, but I was just wondering if maybe
no. This is again, with Imperials, sometimes I have to deal with misconceptions, and Wandering Dead, one of these misconceptions. I can assure you, they do not wander. They are given very specific areas that they are to remain in, and most of the time, all they do is sort of, stand there. They do function, however, they do have a purpose. We do not raise the dead for shits and giggles. The dead here, they are honored workmen. They are honored ancestors of the current workmen. So sometimes there are unique situations that arise that require the labor of those honored workers. They come out of their rest and do this labor when it is needed, but it is not always needed. So sometimes they are simply just here, waiting for that time when they are needed. They do not wander. They are under control. They do not have a will upon their own. Um, they do not think. They may be animate, but they have no spirit in them. I assure you.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
But you say wandering around. If you have heard this, this is a rumor that I cannot let propagate through the imperial population that decides to reside here in Showbury. Rumors can spread and rumors can grow and change and become entire fabrications. And that could lead to people making, assumptions about what we do here and how we do things. So I don't want that to keep going. If you talk to other Imperials while you are here in Showbury, I would consider it a favor if you would pass on to them that no, there are no wandering dead in Showbury. All of them are very controlled, and all of them are kept in places that they are supposed to be.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I asked you and found out the truth instead of listening to those rumors then.
It is very good, yes, that you came to me for the correct news, for truth and not a lie. I would hate for you to be misguided. And I appreciate again your initiative to come and ask these questions as opposed to just making assumptions and grabbing pitchforks and torches and stuff. It seems every couple of years I have to deal with that bullshit, and I'm just kind of tired of it at this time, you know.
Well, I guess I'm glad that I got to see your work in action and see how respectful it was. That gave me a good first impression, I think, is the saying.
Well, I am glad that I have made a good impression upon you, and you have made a good impression upon me as well. What is your name, young man? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What is your name, young lady?
I think she needs to get her prescription checked.
I was going for young ma'am, and then like fucked it with the accent.
Ma'am. It's all right. It's all right.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
My name is June, miss. I believe when I met you the other day, I heard your name was Olgi.
Yes, that is correct. My name is Olgi. I am very glad to meet you, Miss June. And she, like, extends her hand, like her gloved hand, to like shake June's. And I need to know what is June's deception DC.
Deception DC? That would be 10 plus deception?
Yes.
That'd be 23.
23. Okay.
Ooh. Oh no.
Oh no.
It might be over before it begins, boys.
Okay. All right. So, but yeah, she puts out her hand to like shake June's hand. And do you shake Priestess Olgi's hand?
Oh gosh. I don't want to metagame or anything. It's just.
I was gonna say, what would your character think to do?
Yeah.
I will tell you that Olgi is looming over you. Like, she's soft spoken and all that sort of stuff. But to say that she doesn't have an aura,
Threatening aura?
of threat, like a low level aura of threat, would be a complete lie.
Feel a bit odd.
So yeah, this very tall lady who has a masked face, like you have not seen her face at all this entire time, is extending her hand to you, her gloved hand to you, to like shake on it after sharing names.
Well,
which is a very normal
it's a normal
behavior.
It's a normal thing. Like there's like this thing. I don't want to metagame be like. The only thing I could think of, like June being hesitant to shake her hand, is because she saw like how, like, you know, got and like crackly it is, you know. But like if she has her gloves on and everything, like June probably wouldn't really more than like anything like think.
How about a fist bump, young lady?
Fist bump, yeah. No, but
or like she goes for a shake and then you like just slap her hand, like high five, like yeah.
Hey yo, dap me up.
Dap me up, big homie. That's the mixture of a handshake and a high five.
Gosh. So I guess June would. I gotta just. I think June would just like
Won't you
would just smile and like
smile and wave, boys.
Smile and like daintily shake her hand, like, you know, like probably like 2 fingers or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, I know what kind of handshake you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very dainty. You know, like
polite. Yeah. Like not full on like
and
dab up kind of thing, but just more like
yeah. But, like she gives you a you know dainty handshake back. But in that brief moment that you're holding, first of all, her hand is room temperature. And secondly, her grip, dainty though it may be, like in appearance, like you know that this is pure iron. Olgi has strength comparable to Gloria.
Oh god. Oh gosh.
She has strength comparable to Gloria, and I'm reading up an ability real.
Oh god.
Oh
no. Tim's happy again.
It was a pleasure to meet you, June. And let's see here. Okay, so yeah, June. I am. Okay, hold on.
It's taking this long. We might be looking at a new character.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I mean,
don't say that.
June's twin sister April.
Okay.
Has all the same backstory and all the same feelings.
Okay, so June, I need you to make a will save. The DC is 28, and you currently have a -1.
Wait, I have a -1.
Oh wait, hold on. Doesn't June still have the blood eye coffee to +1 saves and shit?
The blood eye coffee is still in effect. Yeah.
Wait, we drank blood eye coffee?
I did.
Just go back
but wait, why do I have a -1?
Because you're touching Olgi.
Oh. Oh no.
Reggie.
Honestly, I would have just like if Callie was there, she probably would have just like bowed or something, be like, "Yeah, it's not Azurketi tradition to shake someone's hand." Made some Y up or some shit.
Okay, question Fuzzy. Did or did not June use that little bag of twigs that Torque gave her?
Torque refreshes that every single day,
Okay.
and that is a +1 item bonus to this very specific sort of thing.
Okay. So it's a -1 and a +1.
Yeah, which means they cancel each other out.
Okay.
You're back to 0.
Okay.
But when she grips your hand and she says your name, June can feel that little pouch of twigs that's around your neck
Just go off.
that Torque gave you. Can feel that just shrivel as it fights against the effect.
Okay. Well,
So
this is kind of
DC 28 will save.
Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go.
there we go.
Oh my
Hey.
god.
Hey,
That's what we're talking about.
These are like the
indeed.
nail-biting moments that I love about RPGs. It's just like. All right, so June. So June smiles sweetly, keeping up the appearance of not, like just playing along, being like, oh, I want to hear more about your religion, etc., etc. And, oh, my name's June.
Mm-hmm.
She takes her hand, just in full on, one, because of the size difference, and also two, just being polite. Just kind of takes Olgi's fingers in her hand, just the kind of dainty handshake, and feels like Olgi grip her like a vice, even with that dainty grip. And you said also feels the kind of twigs and everything kind of shrivel up in her little pouch.
The pouch thing is a one-time use only, and it just burnt its use to give you that bonus.
All right. Not to metagame. Is that something I'm aware of, or I would have to check?
Oh yeah. June would feel that happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, but yeah, she does shake her hand and pass the save. Okay.
Well, it has been a pleasure to talk to you and to pass on this information to you. Do remember, tell your Imperial friends there are no wandering in Showbury. That's all just a big lie. False news.
June will nod and say, I will do my best to quell any such rumors I hear. Thank you, Olgi.
Thank you. And then she says something that's not in common. Quick question: does June speak Jotun?
Nope.
Well,
there is someone that speaks Jotun, but not currently here.
Yeah, he's not here.
Yeah, she says something in Jotun. And she, and then she gives a little bow, and she kind of gestures, out the door, the door of the room that you're currently standing in, down the hallway, back out into the main room, and she says, while the main area is open 24/7 for visitors to come in, mostly family of the past, we do not, I apologize, do not have beds for anyone who is not a member of the faith. So if you need lodging, I would suggest that you find it somewhere if you need to. I'm sure you could commune with the houseless who live outside. They can show you how to craft a little hut out of the snow itself. Make a little fire to keep yourself warm if you don't have another place to stay. But if you will excuse me, I'm...
What a bizarre thing to say.
Yeah, she's telling you to go commune with a homeless...
What a really bizarre thing to go say.
Yeah,
to someone who clearly has money and is working with a company or something.
She's like, hey, she's telling you to get out. Is what she's telling you. She's like, technically, we're open 24/7. Show up, but get out. So she's just saying it in a roundabout way.
Go play with the homeless.
Torque does gently grab the back of June's jacket and give it a little tug, and she speaks up and she says, well, thank you Priestess, for your time and everything. We just were curious about it because we had stuff. But thank you for letting us know. And then she kind of like turns, with her hand like on June's shoulder, and he like, we like let us, the two of us together, leave now.
Yeah, June will follow Torque's lead out the door. She bites her tongue from any verbal comebacks for now, because she felt Ulki's grip, like with 2 fingers, like crush her hand worse than like or about as what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So yeah, she leaves.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh my god, that was so fucking tense. That was like,
yeah, that was tense.
Very.
So, who's next? I guess.
Okay. So,
because we had Tim and
June and Torque walk out of the building. So, Tim's gotten himself and Rusi up into position to get like a bird's eye view on things. Callie, Jamal, Laria, and Seamus are all in the streets and alleys, still just keeping a scope on things. So I do need those characters, first and foremost, to start off with a perception check.
Okay.
Damn, you know what? I'm fucking hero point, man.
Tim. Damn.
Fuck. Tim's best
Damn,
stat
that's
is
slightly
perception. I'm
better.
not taking no dang 18.
Tim went to night vision mode. Damn.
Yeah.
He's looking for. He's
Like,
there's something in his head that he saw last night that he needs to track down.
Generally in the same area, I guess. All 3 of them, typical, I guess. Except
Yeah.
Dr. Tremors, he's not locked in. He's too busy pretending to be a chihuahua.
Yeah.
I like how like Dr. Tremors is like skittering around, pretending to be a chihuahua on a leash, while Callie is walking along, probably also on a leash that's being held by Mr. Servo, who's just like rolling along behind.
And imagine like, well, maybe, I don't know. Mr. Servos might be with Seamus, honestly.
Okay, so let's see here. Rusi had a 27. Larry's got a 29.
I got a
Seamus
17.
Seamus is 17. Dr. Tremors is a 17. Mr. Servos has got a 24. Callie's got a 25. Jamal's got a 21, as well as Scent. And Tim's over here with a gosh darn 33. Okay.
Sharp eyes.
So, Tim, being that you have low light vision, and also don't you have a scope on one of your weapons too? Okay.
On the pistol.
So you and Rusi get stanced up on the 5th floor landing of the tower. Rusi specifically angles himself so that he can more lean against the wall and keep an eye on the interior space, just in case somebody else comes up or down the stairs, while Tim is doing the actual spotting.
Yeah.
So Tim, with your fucking 33 and your zoom with your scope and your low light vision, you see while the encounter with Priestess Olgi is going on, you see a couple of stragglers, workers and whatnot, making it to their homes. There's a couple of people who come out of a business who are obviously going to elsewhere to turn in for the night. That all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And in the about 10 minutes, frankly, that it takes for that encounter to happen, essentially nothing happens. But when you see the door open again, you see Torque and June walking out a bit tense, but they're otherwise walking. And
they're walking out, not being dragged out.
Yeah, they're not being dragged, they're not being thrown. You know, you can't like confirm from where you're at, but it doesn't look like they're being mind controlled or anything like that. But either way, as you're like checking down on the situation, you can see that, and I'll ping it here on the map. So like they're here where Torque's figure is right outside of the halls of Rome, and you're up here in the Dawn Castle. You see with your zoom over here under the N and the D in under Bark Gate, that name there. You see over here two guys walk out of one of the more narrow streets between buildings into the main street, and instead of like continuing on and walking like everybody else, they stop and they look both ways, like they're scoping the street out. And then after a moment, they turn back to the alleyway, and then 7 other dudes come out of that exact same alleyway, and they are carrying a coffin.
Real suspicious.
And then
damn it.
And then they make a turn and start heading down the main street. So like, let me get the draw tool here. So like they start here, and then they start making their way down this main road. They are very clearly heading towards the with a coffin in tow.
And this is obviously way more than 150 feet, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is in where you initially see them at from where you are. And remember, 5 stories up is like 130 meters.
Yeah.
But like I said, you've got the zoom, and you've got height. You've got the ability to overview. So you see that on the ground. Laria, since you're the other like king of spot checks, when you're wandering around, you've got visual from where Laria is. You can see a little bit down the street. There's Seamus, who's keeping a view down there at that intersection. You can see down this other street. There's Callie and Jamal, where they've got their view. And then you look down, like your corridor of view, and you can see a big clump of snow just split in half. Like it splits in half, and then like a second later, a cloaked figure steps out of the like broken up snowbank. They're normal sized. They step out of the snowbank. They look around like back and forth for a moment. They do not appear to notice you, but then you see them like walk across the street from where they popped out at over to like another snowbank, and they just shove their hand into the snow, and then the snow breaks open, and then they walk through the snowbank and into a little alleyway.
What the fuck, man?
What the heck?
Well then,
maybe follow potentially. I don't know. I've worked the rest of the party.
I mean, you could very easily.
I would
flag
rather
down.
warn the rest of the party than follow that.
Okay. All right. So you flag down Seamus. You flag down Callie. Between the two of them, they catch Torque and June's attention to pull the rest of the party basically together over there where
Actually,
you are like 1 block away from where this happened.
I'll say that I have Mr. Service with Rusi and them, and then just suddenly he lights up and starts going beep boop beep beep, and then he.
Wait,
starts
Mr.
walking.
Service is on the 3rd floor in a building?
No, he's like on the bottom floor.
Oh,
He's on the bottom floor.
I was confused.
Yeah,
I was
he
like, how do you get up the
he's
stairs?
Yeah, he's like
he
right
just
outside.
rocket jump his way up there. Yeah.
I mean, technically he can.
1,000 feet out. Yeah.
All right.
But he is parked outside of the building that you're at, and he like flashes the lights at you, like whoop whoop, to let you know that something's going on.
Gotcha.
Flashes lights in Morse code.
At one point, like Tim, like pats Rusi and just goes, "Did you happen to see them coffin boys walking down the street down there?"
I did see a group of guys. Were they carrying a coffin?
I mean, I saw a coffin.
Yeah, well, you also have like a scope, man. I just heard eyeballs.
We gotta fix that. Oh, Callie's calling us. All right.
Okay. Well, if my sister's calling us, then they've spotted something.
Yeah.
This song.
So, like,
and Rusi like
walking down the stairs, Tim just goes, "So about lunch today." We can get to the bottom of the stairs.
My God.
What about lunch?
I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, you don't eat. You don't eat lunch.
I want to get the conversation so badly, bro.
Bro, the one time we're on Focus the Span, so like, yeah, let's go back and talk about lunch and get off topic again.
But Rusi looks at you like I don't want to talk about it now. I mean, like, also, who are you to like say anything, Tim? Like, you don't even fucking eat. Also, like, what happened today? Look, man. Look, we'll talk about it later. What happened today, though? Like, I don't even think I can explain it to you, man. Like, I like you, Tim. I really do. You're a cool guy, but like, also, you're a robot. You kind of like lack the parts.
Excuse you. Hold on now. I don't lack anything.
That's a lie.
Hey, I don't lack shit. It's just a bit different.
Incredibly loud and correct buzzer.
He's just happy he's arguing with Rusi and not Callie. Because Callie would just Callie would throw logic at him, and then he wouldn't have anything to argue with.
Logic puzzle. But
Tim
yeah,
knows logic.
Rusi,
Shut up.
Rusi just picks up the pace and is just like down them stairs. He's like, I was going to ask if you had like a fucking grappling hook or something to propel down the damn building. Well, then why aren't we doing that?
You never said anything.
You were the one who asked me about lunch.
I just was trying to strike up conversation, man. I don't know how to do this shit. I don't do small talk very often. If you couldn't tell, he like references his entire robotic figure.
In that moment,
Okay.
Lucy is like, how does Callie do this? How does Callie manage to talk to robots all day?
Yeah, he doesn't know how Callie handles this shit. But he just like sighs with reservation, and he's like, well, get out your grappling gun or whatever the hell it is. And then with his robot arm, he just punches through one of the windows, and like it rips out the like wooden pane structure in between. And he's like, and he just points at it. He's like, robot, repel.
This was beneficial because it's teaching me not to do this shit. Hurtful. I'm not just a robot.
I have feelings, you know.
I can be stupid sometimes as well.
I can be stupid on accident or on purpose. Okay, well, you begin rappelling down the building. Okay, so
I think I may be getting in real life sick.
while you you rappel down the building. That's going to take a minute or two, but like a lot faster than you walking down the stairs and then walking out through the fucking cathedral. But you start on that business, and the rest of the party otherwise gathers where Laria spotted somebody just parting the snow, just magically poofing the snow away and walking through.
That is pretty bizarre.
Did somebody flag down June and Torp too? Like I imagine on the way.
Yes, yes, you were flagged down, so that everybody is gathering. We're just waiting on the 2 spotters from way out.
All right. Well, June would basically tell. Excuse me, burped. June would inform the party what abouts happened in the. Was it a temple or what's the right word for it?
The halls of rest are a funerary home specifically.
It's not exactly a temple, but yeah, like the halls of rest.
Not exactly a temple.
But yeah, they tell him. June will explain what happened and also the fact that that Olgi was up to something. Like she was getting the vibe that she was like being threatened, subtly. You know?
From what it seems,
that bitch was super spooky.
Well, Callie then mentions I mean, it was kind of weird that you mentioned at the very end of that speech for you to go hang with the homeless people or something like that, when she clearly knows that you're like part of a merchant group, which would be weird, you know.
Yeah, I think she was politely telling me to fuck off. So fuck her.
Hey.
After the fact.
All right.
Oh yeah, she was gonna say that to her face. But
what? You're not gonna tell this brick wall? Fuck off.
Callie's like, well, thanks for doing that and putting yourself at risk. It does seem like it doesn't appear to be them that's the suspicious ones today, though. But we got some magical guy parting snow for some reason. Or you know what? I'm not even gonna comment on that one.
Same. Just keep that to myself.
Yeah. We got more important things to think about at the moment, like a guy parting snow and then disappearing into the snow. You know.
She's just tying her hair back in normal big.
And I'm the weird one.
Well, you
So
kind of are the weird one, but you know, we're all
coming
kind of
from
weird, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, we're all weird. I don't think anyone in this group is normal, to be honest.
True.
June's the one who fakes it the best.
Fucking Jamal decided to strip naked and pretend to be my dog for like God knows how long. That was his plan.
That's also a deep cut. Holy shit! From the pirate bird thing, Jimathan or whatever the fuck the guy's name was. God, that was Jimathan. I don't remember. It's been that long.
That was like the beginning of the campaign.
Don't judge me, please.
Alrighty. Can I, Callie, inspect the snow where you pointed it out?
Yes.
Can I use my crafting ability to like see if there's any hidden switches or levers or something?
You can use crafting wouldn't apply here, but you can specifically search. Use the search action, which is perception, which allows you to search an area.
All right.
Well, if she's doing that, can I do a while she's doing that, can I also use detect magic to see if there's like shenanigans about?
Yep.
Oh hey, we're all in the same area again.
I have a feat for this. Hold on. I have thorough search. Wait, no, I don't think that's. I get a plus
I technically.
His name is Jim, so if he doesn't deserve respect, his name's Bird Fucker.
But Bird Fucker.
Yeah.
I mean,
Motherfucker.
Are we just say that he doesn't deserve respect because he's fucking birds, or because he's an asshole? Callie replies to Torque, while also still searching through the snow.
Alright, so +2% to my perception for whatever this is, +2. Oh! Okay, well.
Hey, there you go.
I guess it's a
There you
37.
go.
Well,
Oh,
you know,
oh, geez.
you know,
Callie and her crew are doing pretty good, and then June just like
June just,
kicks
like,
something up on the
locked
snow
the
and
fuck
immediately
in.
finds like the
I'm
next
surprised.
main clue.
I'm surprised June isn't also commenting on the fact that Torque pulled out a thong to tie up her hair.
I didn't comment on it because, like,
not-
in my head, people
yeah.
have called like the thing that you tie your hair up a thong.
Yeah, it's like a thong or a. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
I've
do you
heard
think,
hair
like, just-
tie, thong,
Do you think
tie
Torque
back.
just has her underwear in her hair or something?
Yeah, it's not. Well, the reason that we call that piece a thong is because it is things, which is what you call a leather thing, is a thong.
Mhm.
That's how the underwear got its name.
Yeah, this came
Okay,
first,
yeah,
and
this
then
came
It
thong.
was like, don't you also call that on sandals or like
Yeah.
flip
Yeah,
flops?
thongs.
You call them
I'm
thongs.
currently wearing a pair of thongs right now.
So
Yes.
what you're telling me is Torque pulls out a flip flop and then ties her hair with that.
Yes.
She ties back her hair with a spare chalonka that she just had on, that she hasn't thrown at anybody yet.
That's a legendary weapon, the chancla.
She's got that chancla on her.
Maybe I'll
Okay,
go to-
so hold on. Let me go back and check everybody's like perceptions, all this shit. Okay, yeah, y'all are doing damn good, and then like June's just like, hold on, let me show you how to
Found it.
rogue.
Just lock the fuck in.
Let me show you how to rogue. Okay, so
Jesus fucking Christ, my mom was like sneezing like 6 times in a row. What the
Callie
fuck?
kind of mentions though, it's like, well, it's probably a good thing he's gone off and become a pirate or whatever the hell those people at Harib said that he disappeared or whatever. You know.
I really
Oh yeah. Fuzzy,
Yeah,
what
good
does
for
my
him, I
detect
guess.
magic also get?
okay, so let's go through this first and foremost. Okay, so June doing the
Can y'all
wow,
hear
your
that or
mom
no?
is
I'm
really
sorry.
oh yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
you're-
loud.
Yeah.
God bless
Yeah,
whoever
that I am
sneezed.
upstairs. I have a bed over my door frame because I don't have a door, and like
That's great.
so yeah. if
Wow.
you guys-
Damn.
yeah.
Bashu.
That's why I want to move out.
That is sinus clearing right there.
that.
Okay, well, anyways, June, you move to the area. First and foremost, the immediate thing that June notices, and you don't need a check for this, is that the area that was split, it looks like something physically cut out a perfect rectangle, the size and shape of a door, into the snow. The only thing that throws off this perfect cut is the footprints of whoever walked through here. So,
And with
yeah,
Dr.
the
49, I don't see anything.
with the 29, you're not seeing anything.
Really?
Yeah, the DC was straight up 30.
Oh my fucking
Damn.
god! I'm so upset, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Just like Jamal,
So-
you were like one off.
either way,
I guess this is why they say like those
first-
like bonuses are like really important because you never know if you're gonna be one off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You never know when you just one off.
yeah, these things do add up. But plus, also, you guys are like going up against critters who are roughly equal in your level, so they've got goods checks at this point.
I mean, I would imagine
so-
they somehow managed to keep the fact that they're mining soul gems here, like a secret from like most of the known world. You know.
Yeah. So either way, funny Hachuin. While Torque is basically quietly explaining to Seamus in the background that like Jim's have fucked her over in on a bill for customs in Harham at some point, and she's like, I genuinely hope he's doing well with his like bird girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, with his girl bird pirate whatever.
Bird friend.
Yeah, his bird friend, whatever you want to call that.
His side tweet.
Bro got.
Shut up, Johnny.
Side tweet.
Side tweet. Oh
Bro
my
got-
god, I gotta
bro-
steal that.
Bro got. My guy got shanghaied into being a pirate, bro. We're never gonna see him
Oh
again.
god, that does bring a new meaning to the term subtweet. So
Oh my!
Tweet and dumb tweet. What the fuck?
God, it's gonna be amazing when we see
So-
Jimmy stuff again. Or he shows up.
So
in the
anyway.
Most spiciest session
Bro,
ever.
if he shows up, it's probably because we're getting raided by pirates. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, considering we got a flying vessel now.
I mean,
like,
bird-
it means
didn't
the
that
pirate
town
goes
get
flying
burned?
uphill.
Don't press your
The
luck.
only
they're
reason
birds.
the only reason that
They
would
are.
happen is if we were trying to go down and kill the Veiled Masters, which might happen at some point. I don't know.
Guys, I gotta be right back. I think I'm actually gonna be sick. Hold on.
Oh,
All right,
go ahead. Go
Go-
ahead. Go
go
ahead.
be sick elsewhere.
Yeah,
Uh,
just gotta go through,
Okay. So, June finds tracks, first and foremost. Notices that these cuts in the snow clearly had to be made either with like an extremely precise tool, which would also have to be reasonably large. Laria didn't say that she saw that, or magic, plain and simple. So that's the first like clear, obvious things that you see. Otherwise, the alleyway that this split goes into is empty. And on the other side of it, there is again another drift that has a perfect slice right through it that then leads onto the main road, which is the same main road that
Can we try to
Tim
find?
saw the guys with the coffin heading down.
Can we try to find a way in? Now that we've like investigated the entrance of it, can we try to find a way inside?
Back
Well,
into the
I
halls of
mean-
rest.
It's inside
I
the
mean-
halls of rest.
I mean, do you want to go into this halls of rest, or do you want to try to find where these guys came from?
Actually, I mean, they could have easily. Are we sure they're just not robbing a gravesite or something? That could be completely useless, honestly.
I mean, they
All right, I'm
could
back.
be grave robbers.
Are you okay?
They could be, but like,
No.
If you need to
It's
sit
in the
out,
halls of-
don't force yourself.
Yeah, don't force yourself, man.
Did you just blow chunks?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't force yourself. Get some rest.
yeah,
Get some water.
uh,
Splash water in your face.
yeah, sip some.
Callie
sip
looks
some
at.
water.
Callie asks Chase, like, what is our.
Plan of attack?
Yeah, do we, like, go see where these guys came from? Or are we gonna go, like, the halls of rest with supposedly the giant nun lady that was giving a 1-2 to June or whatever?
About to give the 1-2.
Yeah.
We'll find out, because, Fuzzy, what does my detect magic, signal? Is there anything out of the ordinary?
Well, there is some lingering magic to blast through the snow. Other than that, there is again another just fading, rapidly fading presence of magic, of something magical, something that was radiating constant magic, item of some variety, passed through this area very, very recently. Probably on the person whose trail you've gotten that leads down the alleyway and to the main road on the other side. So, yeah, some magic was definitely used, and they had something magical on them. These two same things. That you don't know, but there definitely was magic involved.
You know what? So we do know that there is a door that's in between the two, the snow pile, right?
Yes, there is a door, and again, again, June's search would let you know that, like, yeah, that door has recently, like within the last 10 minutes. It otherwise is a door on the side of a nondescript building.
I said we go through the door because those people have to make a second trip eventually.
Go through
So-
the door.
Like the door in the snow or door?
Beside the door in the snow,
Okay.
for the fact that there's a possibility that the halls of rest, this door, and the copper depths might be connected somehow through a series of caves.
I mean, that's not an impossibility. But why?
No.
What does the coffin have to do with it?
Hmm.
Or Callie then says, you mentioned, June, that she said this Oogie nun, Miss Tall Lady, said that she's the only one capable of bringing the dead back. She's the only one.
That's what she told me.
She's the only one, and the whole rest are connected to this, and they got a coffin. That must mean that, you know, they be bringing people back that, you know, they gotta be bringing people back, you know. People back that weren't Callie, was I told that it was like a was anybody told it was like a process? Like you have to go, like you have to sign for, you have to like accept that your body will be brought back, kind of thing. Like you have to accept it. It's not just like a random process, right? That they choose on random people, right?
It is not random, although the details of exactly what that means has not been described.
Well, they must be doing this illegally, right? There would be no other reason for them to do it. What, to hide it? Callie's thinking for a second. It's like, we could have people go down, but we also might want to investigate where the guys came from. You know what? Yeah, let's just go down, you know? They probably stole the guy from like a gravesite or like a funeral house or something. Why would they need unregistered dead people working for them unless if not for the fact that they were doing something illegal?
Torque, you're so incorrigible.
Well, that is a very good question. Why would they be or stealing undead people?
Yeah, why would they need to steal dead people if if it's because you even mentioned it's like it's seen as like, you know, having your bodies continue after is seen almost as like a good thing by everyone in town. It's like a tradition.
It is a traditional good thing.
Yeah.
It is seen as like a public service. You know, like it is good and proper for somebody who lives here that when they pass away, the body can continue to perform a public good.
Yeah, if anything, why would they just, you know what I mean? It would be kind of weird that they'd be abducting dead bodies or that they'd be needing dead bodies all of a sudden.
Are these people robbing graves or kidnapping undead?
Probably. Yeah, let's. Are we gonna try to open the door, or are we gonna try to like stake it out and hope to God they come back with another coffin?
I would say let's try and open the door ourselves. If not,
alrighty, I will do it. Can we?
Okay then.
Let's open the door.
Just cuts me off. All right, go ahead, Kelly.
All right. Well,
breaking and entering, say less.
Breaking and entering. I mean, they're already technically committing a crime, so it's not like I'd be committing a crime and investigating them at this point.
The door is locked. So are you going to break the lock, pick the lock, blow the door open? What do you want to open it?
Fireball!
You said there's a lock on this fucking ice, this perfectly cut ice chunk.
Yes, they're like, well,
It's a
inside of the ice, like inside of the snow and the ice. This is, well, no, it's not a magic door.
Um,
It's a regular fucking door that's in the
um,
side that goes into the side of the building
Callie,
that would have been
do you
covered by
want
the
to pick
snow.
this, or do you want me to pour acid in it? She says to June, "Do you want to pick this, or should I pour acid into it?"
Oh, so like there's
Yeah.
like a physical lock, like we can see it, like
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. It is
Okay.
There is a physical
I thought it
lock.
was like I don't know why in my head I was thinking it was like some kind of like fucking like those
No,
Minecraft
no.
builds, like like where you just step on the pressure pad, like the
the
terrain,
redstone
the
door.
redstone doors, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To just to be clear here, with the snow split apart the way it is, the door is a physical, otherwise regular looking door that's in the side of this building that would have been completely covered by the snow. So the snow being cleared means you found it and you see tracks that are moving in and out of it. It's clearly been opened within just the past like 10 to 15 minutes here.
Okay, then.
But it is locked with a physical lock.
Okay, so I thought it was like a magical lock. So then, yes, June will. Let's see. She has her thieves' tools, right? Yeah.
Yep. You should have thieves' tools. They should be infiltrator thieves' tools, which give you the item bonus. You will need 2 successive thievery checks. The DC is 22. So I need 2 successful 22s in order to unlock this.
All right, June.
Yep.
June kind of squats down on the door and just kind of cracks her fingers and says, "It's been a while since I've had to use these, but I'm glad I have them." And so it's what was the DC again, or what was the check?
It's a thievery check, and you are picking lock is the specific action. Tools.
I get a +1.
And so +1 with that +1 bonus, DC 22. You need 2 successes in a row in order to unlock the lock.
There's 1.
1.
And there's 2.
2. Okay. When you get that final click clack of the lock coming undone, there is a tertiary click that is there, and since June is all up close and personal with this lock, June can see that because she managed to check, a trap did not go off.
June, so everybody, so June kind of slowly steps back, or not, leans back from the thing, and just kind of exhales and says, "I'm glad I remember how to do this. There was a trap on this thing, but I managed to disable it."
Well, that's good. If it didn't work, I was thinking of just pouring acid and then going in loud, and then Callie pulls out the several bombs shot together that's in her pocket.
Going loud.
I mean, they got coffins. They're probably stealing the dead, honestly.
Okay, so
It's midnight.
door is unlocked.
All right. I'm gonna peek on through if I can first to see if there's any guards or anything.
Okay, you're gonna peek through the door. All right.
Yes.
You peek through the door. You don't need to make a check or anything. There is nobody on the other side of the door. It is not lit, but Callie's got low light vision, so it's not lit, and it is pretty much like every single Skyrim dungeon. You have a circular chamber that's roughly 10 feet across, that then has spiral staircase made out of wood that descends into the ground.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, there's no way we're gonna find out if we just stand around, Callie says, and then she opens the door and then just walks on through.
Seamus, of course, being the protective father, follows right behind her.
Okay. All right then. So it is going on 10 p.m. We have lost danger to the city.
Wow, I'm sorry.
So, ooh, wah wah wah.
Oh, this was like a perfect spot to stop at. Yeah, this was a great session.
Yeah. This is a good space to stop as you guys have this door and are staring into the chasm of the unknown. So, yeah, that is where we will bring things to an end. I am, of course, as always, very grateful you guys to show up and to put up with my horseshit. I will very gladly admit to you that like I was running so much interference to keep you guys from moving too far forward because, like I said, I didn't have a lot of planned that I wanted to get done. Like I have it all. I have all the outline written out, but there's several things details I did not have. So you know what?
But the detail you did have was the torque biblification magic, apparently.
She's glowing with bingo magic.
I cannot stress enough how much that like you have just added something that will be a thing that you carry forward.
I've added something to the vocabulary.
I mean, honestly, it didn't feel too bad.
You have breathed it into life. In bimbo magic is a theory.
That's why I had to quote it.
Glowing with bimbo magic. And Callie, of all people, said
so
it
confused.
too. Callie said it.
Honestly, it didn't really feel like you were like holding us back to like at all or very little. Like there was like a little bit of
very
banter.
natural.
Yeah, everything felt very natural. You are.
I mean, it rolled very well, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I was like steering conversation. Exactly. That is where you are going. That's where all you Jimbos. That is where all you Jimbos are about to go. But yeah, I was trying to steer conversation and occasionally use torque to just distract.
Well, you did a
sort of
damn good job
time.
with the distraction.
Well, you know what? It's literally like all of the stuff that she is doing is stuff that is being influenced by the curse, and it's fucking hilarious. It's great. I love this. I absolutely fucking love this.
She went from stealing Euro rings to licking forks fucking suggestively. Like
insert the fucking biblification fucking meme of like the nerdy chick dropping the book but backwards.
I just want you to know that I'm gonna have the raid message for this one be bimbo magic raid, just because it's just
bimbo magic.
Bimbo magic. Oh god.
Do you believe in magic?
Okay. I mean, like, plus also the fact that like exactly, but the fact that like June also like leaned into it to like give a separate NPC like a.
Oh yeah, no, that combo was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, that was chef's kiss. That was so good. That was absolutely good. Wonderful. I look forward to listening to this pod again later. But yeah, this was a fantastic session. Things moved far enough for me without going too. Like we were on the very precipice of like shit where I was like, I've got a vague idea of what's happening. So
I do have to ask, did I ever end up having that conversation with the weird steampunk guy in the goggles and the wife that has the corset or whatever?
Oh yeah. They would have like caused you to linger a little bit at the end of the market just to like have a chit chat where he's like, hey, do you mind if I look under the hood of Mr. Servos and whatnot? I'm kind of an inventor myself. Meme.
I'm something of an inventor myself.
Yeah, which literally speaking, he is actually an inventor. he specializes, his specific special, just so you and Callie as the character are aware, his specific specialization is in powered tools, which he does specifically call powered tools, not power tools, powered tools. Specifically things that are extraordinarily easy to use, so that a worker doesn't need specialized training in order to utilize them in their job. So basically, he's invented drills and like impact hammers and things like that.
You know what? Speaking to him would probably be a good idea, actually. Maybe hire some of his help.
Yes. Plus, also, he quite literally he represents a connection that Callie could make to this other vault as a trade partner, since Callie is actually making trade deals. So that is a thing.
Everyone else is playing like thief. Callie is playing. Callie's playing Civilization 6.
Callie's over here playing Civ 6 and Monopoly. So yeah. But yeah, this was a very fun session. Like always, I thank you guys for showing up and putting up with my malarkey. I hope everyone has a pleasant evening and just a good Easter with family, whether you're doing anything or not.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Everybody, yeah, happy Easter. Everyone, enjoy your chocolate.
Just cut off right there. Enjoy your chocolate. Or chocolate what? Or chocolate what, Fuzzy?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
We're still streaming.
I actually killed my throat.
All right,
Yeah,
guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
And we are gonna go ahead and raid Hanedu, and like I promised, the raid message is gonna be Bimbo Magic Raid, because why not?
Bimbo Magic.
Bimbo Magic.
Inside joke ever.
That's fantastic. We have added something new to Torque. Let's be honest, it was always there, but now we've given it name.
I wasn't even intending it, bro.
Bimbo Magic. The queen of Bimbo Magic.
Glowing with Bimbo Magic.
Glowing with Bimbo Magic. Okay. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good night.
See you.
Laters.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, let's see. Can I get one real quick? That is, if you aren't subbed, you can go ahead and use... Oh. Ah. Let's see, knife. There we go. Alright. If you aren't subbed, you can go and use this one instead. But if you are subbed, go and use the other one. I don't know. We'll see you all next time. I had a lovely session. Love you all. Thank you so much for having it. Thank you so much for having me be here. Spiny, Shadow, everybody. Roxas, everybody. Love y'all. Mwah.
Hello. So.
Oh, hey, June.
June delete just raided.
Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Hanetta, your local idiot